Hey, we're live. How are you, Chris?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Good, man. Hello, everyone. Anyone that's going to be watching in a minute. Oh, there we go. Somebody's come on.
Evening, Scott.
How do, Scott? So, right, live. First live in a long time. When was the last time you done a live, Chris?
Cool. I was on a live a few weeks back. I say a few weeks back, probably a month or so ago with Paul, John and Crummy and...
Oh, yeah.
But to actually do a live on my channel, that has been a very, 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 very long time.
Very long time. I think the last live I done, was with Raggy, I think, and that was bloody hell. I can't think how long ago that was.
Yeah, and I say it so often. I do say, yeah, I do a live, and then I never do.
Oh, I know, yeah. It's one of them things, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Beer reviewers, Thomas. Hello, you gorgeous queens. Apparently, we're the queens of the beer world. God knows why. I have no idea. But yeah, we got 8 watching now. So what I will do is I will introduce. Well, do I need to introduce you? I don't, do I?
I don't think so.
Chris has joined me. Chris has joined me on this live tonight. We are going to take a look at 3 beers. We're just having a cheeky one at the moment. This is not one we're looking at. We're just having a cheeky one. But I'll let Chris tell you the beers that we're going to be looking at in a bit.
So, yeah. Do you want me to say that now?
Yeah, do it now. Do it now.
Grab one of them then. So yeah, we're looking at 3 beers this evening, people, and we are going to be looking at one from Marble Brewery. It's the India Pale Ale. Great cans.
Yeah,
I've had a few from Marble recently, and they've been good beers. Really good beers.
This is the first one for me from them. So
yeah, I've had a couple from them. I don't think I've ever reviewed one though. And then we're going to be looking at good old Arbor Brewery, and we're going to be looking at Texas Sunday Morning, which is a hazy India Pale Ale in their big whopping cans. Just out of interest, is the writing the right way round? Because it's backwards on my screen.
I think it's the right way round from what I can see, because it's quite dark with the thing. Yeah, that's the right way round.
Good. And then the third one I'm going to be looking at, it's been around many, many years. It's still a great beer that I know Baz and I have both had many, many times, is the Golden Drac Quadruple.
And we've both got in the right way.
Yeah. And we've both got the glass, the matching glass, one of the best glasses, one of the best Belgian beer glasses around.
Right way.
Absolutely fantastic beer glass.
500
ml, and it's like got a paperweight on the bottom. It is absolutely solid, absolutely gorgeous glass. So we both had the beer, we both had the glass, and we both managed to. It wasn't planned, was it? We both just happened to have these beers in. So
yeah. You asked me if I had the Golden Drac, and I said yeah, I got about 4 of them. From when I raided Lidl's, I think, when they had them all in there. So yeah, that come in handy then. And when you obviously done your big beer haul. It was quite ironic that we only had really the 3 the same.
Well, yeah, considering there was 48 beers on that beer unboxing, and yet we only had 3 that were the same. But that just shows how good Trembling Madness are, doesn't it? Really, that
the variety. I bought 20 when I done my order.
Yeah, their variety is immense, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll go through some of these comments. All right. Thomas is saying hi to Scott. Blue Van Man has said that Arbor can looks like the Barcelona top. Paul Greenwood's in. And he said, evening lads, looking forward to the stream. Marble absolutely superb from my hometown. Like I say, I've not had anything from them. That's it. We got Scott talking to Thomas. John talking to Scott. Blue Van Man talking to Scott.
Scott in a pub.
Yeah. Everyone's saying hello to each other, basically.
Which is very nice.
Paul Greenwood, Madry from a hamlet called Burton-on-Trent. Yeah, so pretty much everyone is just saying hello to each other. So we'll just keep chatting rubbish for now. How's the job going?
Yeah, job's going well.
I'll ask you quickly.
Yeah, job's going well. So I've changed departments now in a Monday to Friday role, doing training delivery, which is quite nice. I've done it before. It's quite an enjoyable job that I got asked to go back to help out because they just needed a bit of assistance over there. So yeah, I've gone back to that. So yeah, I can't complain. It's busy, but I like training. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm quite happy. All is good. How's your ankle?
How's my ankle? It's getting there. It's getting there. It's still. I was off this week. Still a little bit. Sort of. Yeah. Swelling's mostly gone down. Good. Still bruised, a little bit tender around the back of the ankle and the Achilles, but I think I'll probably give it another week. Just to hopefully, I think if come the end of this weekend, hopefully it should be about. I'm going to guess about 98%. So hopefully one more week, but it's just a case of playing it by ear. But I could do with being back at work, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't get paid.
No,
I don't get paid, and I keep watching too many food programs. I keep watching bloody Rick Stein and what have you.
Good old Rick Stein. I like Rick.
But all it does is make me hungry.
Yeah, it does make you hungry, doesn't it? But the good thing about being back on a Monday to Friday is certainly on a Friday, it does have that kind of let's fuck off early, it's Friday feel. So we did finish early today. So I got home and then went down the pub with my son for a couple of pints, came home, had pizza for dinner, and then here we are, jumping on. Here we are,
yeah. Well, funny enough, I just finished my tea when I was talking to you before, and I said to the missus, I said, "Oh, what time is it?" She goes, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Have a look, just quickly," and it was like 6:42. I thought, "Shit!"
I was waiting.
Better sort something out.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting for the StreamYard link, and I was thinking, he said it would be with me. It still ain't here yet. And then
I was there. just in time. We'll scroll through some more of the comments. I think it's pretty much everyone blah blah blah. Everyone talking to each other. Baz, how do you know if your ankle is 98%, not just 96? I'm very precise. I know these kind of things. I know. I'm a decorator. I know these things. And JB's been very nice and said Baz was playing on that ankle, so his missus runs around after him. If only, mate, I tell you. If only. And Paul Greenwood, Chris, the only beer review that looks like Moby. Reviewer, yeah.
Yeah, I've been likened to lots of different people. I think is Blue Van Man likening me to Jean-Luc Picard. I get likened to so many people. Moby, I've had that one before. Jean-Luc Picard's a new one, so I like that one. What's the guy that used to be the lead singer of REM? Michael Stipe.
Michael Stipe.
Yeah, I've been likened to him. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm quite happy with it.
I think you look a little bit healthier than Michael Stipe, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
I always thought you never looked very well, to put it politely. That's the politest way I can say it.
All is good. I don't mind. If people think I look like famous people, I'd take it all day long. I don't mind. At least they're relatively decent people. Jean-Luc Picard, decent guy. Michael Stipe, head frontman of REM, great band. Moby.
So you're lucky. I got told once I looked like fucking Steve McLaren. I'd rather be called some of the names that I've been called in the past, to be honest.
Steve McLaren. That's amazing.
Mind you, there's always a chance of an England job, isn't there?
Well, there is that, yeah. There is that. Wasn't he the Wally with the brolly, though, Steve McLaren? He was, wasn't he?
I think he was. He didn't do very well, did he?
No, he didn't. No.
No,
he didn't. Bless him.
So, and quite frankly, after losing to Middlesbrough the other night, I don't want to be associated with them. So,
yeah, it's fair enough. That is fair enough.
There you go. Confirmation there. The Wally with the brolly. You were right.
There you go. Yeah. He was. He stood on the touchline, didn't he, when it was pouring with rain, while his players are out on the pitch and he's standing there with an umbrella up. It's not the one, is it?
Yeah.
It's not the one.
Mind you, you look at half the players now that sit on the bench.
Yeah.
And they got like blankets over them and everything. And you're like, really?
Yeah.
You bloody footballers. What's the matter with you? You got a blanket.
Got to keep them warm.
Mental. Well, I'm empty, Mon.
So am I.
Should we dive in on the first one?
Well, let's do it. Let's dive in on the marble.
Let's quickly jump on this comment. John 78, evening, gentlemen. Hiya, John. He's from Wrexham, actually. Very close to me. So I do get a few comments from him about certain beers. And Paul Greenwood, he was at the game at Wembley when McLaren must have had his brolly out.
Oh, the brolly, he had his brolly out. You were there. Excellent.
He was there. He was the man.
Yep. Right, so we're having a look at the India Pale Ale from Marble. It says on the side, Marble canned beer produced to fundamental standards. There's no real name for it.
Way round.
Yeah, just IPA, isn't it?
That's it. 500ml can as well.
Is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I kept thinking it wasn't because it was next to the Arbor, which are massive, aren't they? It is, yeah, you're right. It is. It's a 500ml can coming in at 5.8.
Yeah, decent strength on it.
I thought we were. Oh yeah, the Arbor's even higher, isn't it? 6.5. The Arbor.
Yeah, we're starting off low.
Going to sit up a little bit. Yeah, there's not a huge amount on the side, is there? Other than I'll read out what's on the side. Sod it. It says a delightful beer, true to the fundamentals of IPA. So that should be interesting. Balancing tradition and innovation, zesty citrus fruits balanced against fresh tropical flavors, held together with soft floral notes, wrapped up with a beautiful malt backbone and sip-inducing bitterness. Like that. Do like a bit of bitterness.
There you are then. We got Simo in. Simo saying hi. Scott saying hi to Simo. Paul's saying hello, Simo. Paul Greenwood, Marble beers always come in the big cans. And Scott's a big fan of the branding.
Is he? Or is he taking the piss out of it? I'm not sure. Branded on that, this branded on that is phenomenal with a laughing emoji. I'm guessing I'm being sarcastic myself. It's not the best branding, but it does look all right, doesn't it? The branding. Yeah. But it doesn't even have a name, does it? It's just IPA. IPA, yeah. Let's get it cracked open. Banging it in my old white hag glass. Very nice. I got that for £1. Oh, that's a bargain. I love it. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. Let's have a look at it then. I only got it in my glass, yeah. Hang on. Come on. I was behind you, pal. Well, yours looks a difference in light. That's ridiculous. Amazing what light does, isn't it? Yeah. Because yours looks like really, really clear and a bit pissy. It's slightly hazy. Yeah. And it's sort of like a slightly hazy, golden sort of lemon colour. Yeah, so I mean, I have only got my LED lights on in here. But yeah, mine just looks a different colour. But if I turn the main light on, I think mine would probably look a bit more like yours. But no head. I've got no head left on mine. None. Mine's it's only about a finger head. I reckon that would probably disappear. Not any real bubbles going up. No. Let's give it a sniff. Let's give it a sniffski. I actually think it's got a smell. Yours in the camera. Yours looks like quite a traditional sort of IPA. Yeah, it does. The colour of it. I think it's actually got a little bit of a smell of that. It's got. I think there's quite a bit of malt in there. I think the maltiness is coming through. It's very zesty on my aroma. Really zesty.
little bit of grapefruit, maybe.
Yeah, it's grapefruit zest. It's not the boldest aromas.
No, but it's
But
nice. A little
fresh.
bit of orange, maybe.
Yeah, it's quite a. Has this got can date? No, it's got a best before, but it's zesty. It's grapefruity, lemony, orangey. It just doesn't do it in. It's not big aroma.
It's not
but
massive on the nose.
It isn't.
It's not massive, but it's certainly not off-putting.
But then the other thing I was thinking, and I can't remember if I said it on a review or I put it in one of my community posts, is are we just so used to this type of aroma now that they don't surprise you?
I think so. I think that's with some beers when you there'll be a lot of beers that we probably slate and say, oh, it's a bit, and I think it's just because you drink so many beers and have so many better beers, if you like.
Yeah.
I think the worst ones probably seem worse than what they really are.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it just smells. I've got no doubt it's probably going to taste pretty good because marble are quite good. But for me, it's just a smell I'm very, very used to now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
I think it's got a traditional smell in there for me.
Yeah, it kind of has. But I think if I'd have had this 3 years ago, I probably would have thought it smelled amazing. And I'd have been going crazy over the aroma. But yeah. I am starting to think, is the bubble bursting with these types of fruity IPAs, and are people going to go back to more traditional style ales and better lagers? For me, I think there's a strong possibility that the bubble could be bursting for these types of IPAs. Personally, is what I think.
Well, let's give it a taste. Let's see what we got on the taste, because like I say, I think there's a bit of traditional in there. It may well taste like a bit of that. So
let's hope so. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
Oh, there is traditional in there.
It's malty, isn't it?
That is very malty.
I think it's got.
I wasn't expecting that. Oh.
I think it's got like a little bit of a sweet sort of caramel, toffee note in there.
That surprised me. That initial mouth hit was all malty. Then the citrus comes much later. Much later. It has got kind of toffee caramel tones.
I think it starts off old school, traditional. That dies off a bit, and then you get in the sort of citrus notes in there for me.
Yeah, that's quite surprised me, because the aroma did annoy me a little bit. I thought it just smelled New England IPA on the aroma, but the taste is completely and utterly different from the aroma, which is quite clever. But the taste and the aroma are just so far apart from each other. It's a bit strange.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. What I'm picking up, I think it sort of tastes like I was getting, but you know, it's more maltier than I thought in the taste. I certainly didn't expect a sort of notes of caramel or toffee at the start.
I agree. It's very malty on the taste, and that's where it's sticking to what it says about tradition on the side of the can. It has got that malty traditional IPA to it. I don't think it's overly bitter.
No, there's a gentle bitterness in there. I'm not going to say, I wouldn't say I get tropical flavours myself.
I did on the aroma, but I don't on the taste. On the taste, it is quite traditional on the taste. It is malty. You get a hoppiness, you get a bit of floral, but you do get a bit of that traditional IPA type sort of caramel kind of toffiness running through it.
That's the biggest note in there, isn't it?
And it just doesn't look the right colour to be a traditional. The proper traditional English IPA is not that colour. But it does taste like
it depends on what you're seeing and what I'm seeing. What I see on your screen, it's quite dark.
Yeah, so I don't think traditional.
No, probably not on what you're seeing. I mean, if you look at what I'm...
Yours looks very light. Yours, I mean, I think Scott, I'm sure Scott said somewhere in the comments, it was like, it's a fix. It's two different beers because it does look that way. Let me put my torch on. I'm putting the torch on.
Yeah, but you put the torch on. Look, we both look totally different there. If we put it right, look at that, right up against the screen.
They're a bit closer. I don't know. It's the magic of light, isn't it? That is all down to light. Yours does look very thin and look quite see-through, whereas mine doesn't.
What's the body like? For me, it's not thin, but it's not really weighing you down. But it's definitely got a bit of body there, and I think that's the malty side of the beer.
Yeah, it's got a bit of body.
Body.
It's not thin. It's not. It's in between thin and medium for me. There's almost. This is going to sound
a bit bready.
I don't get bready. This might. Oh God, we just seem so apart.
Bready mouthfeel rather than bready taste.
It tastes a bit cheesy. It's a bit. It does.
What's the date on yours? What's the date on yours? What?
Mine's the 9th of January 2024.
Fucking hell, we got the same ones, Mom. We got the same beers. It's a fix.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I do find with some proper traditional IPAs, I just kind of get this kind of weird cheese-like flavour to them. Not like chowing down on a fucking lump of cheddar, but something cheesy about them. I don't know. Maybe it's the malts.
Do you think it's maybe the malt mixing with the hop flavours? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be. I don't dislike it. I do like it.
How much was it? Can you remember?
I can tell you exactly. Stand by.
I think your sheet's nearer than mine.
It is. I have it in there. On the last page.
No, I've got me right on me.
Mine might be nearer, but I can't bloody see it.
It's not hit mine, shall I? There we go. We've got mine here.
Oh, there it is. £3.85.
That's it. You let me do all that walking to the back of the bar. £3.85.
I tell you what, for a 500ml can and £3.85, it's a decent beer. It is a decent beer for that money.
You compare it to a pub, you're not going to get a beer as good as that, I don't think, for £3.85 here.
No. There's a.
If you look at it as an old, and I'm going to call it old school because it is quite an old school kind of beer. You could say, "Oh, hang on, am I paying a bit more? Could I not get something like that in the supermarkets for £2?" I don't know. Is that being harsh or not?
No, not at all. The pub down the road for me where I go does have really good beers in, but they're always about £4.50 a pint. So for £3.85 for 500ml, that is a tidy beer.
It's a nice beer. It's a decent beer, and to be honest, I don't care if I pay that much for sitting at home to drink it.
No, of course not. No.
I know there's a lot of people out there, don't they? They moan like hell, don't they, about oh, well, I'm not paying that. I can drink that in a pub for that or whatever, and why should I sit at home and pay that much for a beer? But personally, I think if the beer's good, it don't really matter to a certain extent.
Yeah, I don't mind sitting at home if I've paid good money for a beer. I've got no issue with that, none whatsoever.
You don't get the 5.8%, do you? I don't
No,
think.
you actually really don't. That's a good point. You actually really don't pick up on the booze.
I would say that drinks about like a nice 5% beer.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, it's what is it? 5.6, isn't it?
5.8. It's nearly 6.
Oh, 5.8. Yeah, I'd go that drinks like a 5%. But would I have another one? That's the question. Would you have another one?
I'll drink that again, yeah. Would I rush out and buy it? Like I say in a lot of my videos, probably not, because I'm always buying different beer. But I mean, if that was available somewhere, I'd happily drink it. I'd happily
Yeah, I'd go
drink it.
with
It's a
that.
nice enough beer.
Yeah, if it was available somewhere and there wasn't much else, I'd buy it. If I went around someone's house and they had it and they offered it to me, I'd happily drink it.
Yeah, yeah.
Would I buy it again? I'm not. I wouldn't. But that's the thing, that even like the beers that I love the most, some of the best beers I've had, I've never ever bought again
Because there's always different stuff.
there's always different stuff. So the only beer I buy regularly, that I buy on a regular basis, is a fridge filler. That's just an enjoyable beer.
The Stritzer.
Other than Cotswolds.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
660ml bottle. That's £1.90 in Sainsbury's.
You can't go wrong, can you?
It's £2.50.
That's a deal.
You're wrong. You just can't. And so that's the only beer I buy time and time again.
Yeah. I don't think I'll buy any time and time again, because I have the machines, don't I? So
yeah,
really, in a sense, that's my time again, really.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, my machine.
It's a decent beer.
It's not a bad beer. I don't know. I say it's not a bad beer, and I do like it, but I'm not in a rush to drink it. So I don't know if I do really like it, because I think if I did really like it, I think I might have almost drunk that by now.
Well, I'm getting down it quite easy.
I'm not desperate to drink more of it.
Yeah, I can quite easily.
I do like it, and maybe that's a good thing that I'm not desperate to knock it back.
Is it because we're old now, Chris, and you've had a few already this afternoon?
Yeah, I did go out and have a couple of pints this afternoon, so there could be a bit of that coming into play. It confuses me a little bit, this one.
Give us your views on it. Give us a summary of your views on this beer.
I find it confusing. I know it goes on about tradition, and it goes on about innovation. And can tradition and innovation mix? Maybe. But a traditional English IPA, I know that probably looks the colour of a traditional English IPA, but it doesn't where I'm sitting. Traditional English IPAs are generally
I would say a little bit darker than that.
Yeah, they're a bit darker. They're almost a bit owl looking, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they do have those caramelly flavours, the toffee flavours, whereas this does have that, but this has also got grapefruit to it. It's got a piffiness to it, and it doesn't have the right bitterness to it. So can tradition and innovation meet? I don't know. Maybe I actually don't like this. I think the more I kind of sit and looking at it and thinking about it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I do like it. It's drinkable.
Yeah.
But I'm in no hurry to finish that. If I walked out of my pub shed, which is where I am, and I went indoors, and the wife started chatting to me, and I got distracted, and I stayed in the house, I wouldn't
forget about it.
Yeah, I could forget about it. I would easily forget about it, and then I'd come back in here tomorrow and see the glass and go, oh, shit, yeah, I had a beer on the go. It's forgettable, is what it is for me. It is forgettable.
It's forgettable. I like it, to be honest. I do like it. I think it mixes traditional with an edge of craft in there, with the fruity notes. It's not it's not going to be if you're an out and out craft beer drinker. I don't think it's going to be up your street. But I think if you like the old school stuff,
But that's the thing.
I think it's got enough. There's enough sort of like there's not too much craft in there to put an old school drinker off. I think it's drinkable. Again, price you can always argue with, but I think it's a nice enough beer. But it's never going to set your world alight. It's never going to make you go wow. No, it's a decent drop of beer.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not a solely craft beer drinker. I'm absolutely not. But I agree with a comment right down near the end of the chat from Paul Greenwood saying it's a one night stand after 10 pints. That's exactly what it is. And that's all it is. It's not a bad beer. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's disgusting. I'm not saying it's awful. It's none of the above. It's a good beer, but I just think it's a bit confused. But for me, it's just a bit forgettable.
I think it's one of them. I would say this is the sort of beer that you want to see in tap in a pub.
I'd definitely hit it if it was on tap in a pub. I'd definitely give it a punt
because it's. I think it's a pub beer for me.
Yeah.
It's one of them. You go into a pub and you just want a nice, easygoing pint where you're not thinking about the beer or anything. And I think that does exactly that for me. As a craft beer,
yeah,
it's you could say it's a little bit underwhelming, but
yeah,
it's probably doing more or less what it wants to do.
That's the point. It does what it says on the can. It does deliver what it says. And for £3.85 for a 500ml can, I'm not knocking it.
Let's call it a pint, isn't it? It's more or less, isn't it?
Call it a pint. That's a good pint for £3.85. And if I was in a pub and that was on tap, I'd quite happily buy it.
There you are then. So Chris don't like it. I like it. And I think we'll get back to some of the comments, shall we, pal? I've got about 500,000 comments to somehow find.
You're going to have to jump up quite a way.
I know, yeah. It's even harder on a phone, mate, I tell you.
Yeah, you are going to have to go back some, mate.
Jesus Christ.
See, I'm looking on my laptop, and I don't know how you do lives on your phone and keep up.
I don't, mate. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna spin this, and we're going to the last. Fuck it. Hang on. No, we're not. Yeah, we'll go back to Paul Greenwood. Right, Northern Southerner. Baz likes it. Apologies to anyone else. I know Paul's beer reviews has come in. Are you, Paul? And anyone else, if I've missed anyone.
You've missed Dean. Dean's in the house.
Is he?
Yeah.
How are you, Dean, mate? How are you, pal? Sorry, honestly, you know what it's like on a phone. It's a nightmare. Chris M. Vocation 3 Flow 18-month back was a cracker. Traditional ESB bitter 7%, but crossed over. Brilliant. Now, personally, I've not had much experience from bitters that are trying to do. I don't know about you, Chris, but I like a bitter to be a bitter, proper bitter.
Yeah, bitter's got to be a bitter.
I know some of the bitters. Certainly, Dean's been one that's reviewed a few that have been sort of like doing the crossover, and they just haven't appealed to me. I like a bitter to be a bitter. I don't know what you prefer or whether you've had any. I don't know, to be honest. I can't think. I'm certain you have. I don't
know. What was your question? I was too busy going back through the comments to see.
Bitters. What do you like the new world bitters, if you like, or are you more like you want them old school? They got to be a bitter. You don't want them tasting like an IPA. That's my point.
No, I don't want them tasting like an IPA. I want a bitter to taste like a bitter. I want dark fruity notes. I want caramel, toffee, bitterness. I want an old school bitter. I like ESBs. I like old school bitters. But a lot of old school bitters have been completely ruined over the years when they've been taken over and are now macro owned. Look at John Smith's. Just take that as an example. 20, 30 years ago, John Smith's was a fairly decent pint. Now it's absolute trash. Newcastle Brown Ale. Yeah, Newcastle Brown Ale 20, 30 years ago was a good beer. Now absolute trash. So there's the problem, is what is an old school bitter? you've got to go back 20 plus years, I think, to really get the properness. And I think craft brewers are tapping into a bit of that with bringing back some old school bitters and ESBs. That some craft brewers are making some cracking ESBs, and I think that's when the market is shifting back to. So, yeah, I
think all the old styles, if they're done how they should be, they can be ramped up. They can be. I don't know. If you just ramp them up sometimes rather than change them, they turn out to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I think that's all these breweries need to do. The style of the beer is great. If you get a good one, all beer is great. If you get a good style, a good thing of the style. So, Northern Southerner here. Look at this. Look. Baz supports Sheffield United. That's coming from a Southampton fan. The worst team I've seen in God knows how long. Beer Fan TV. How are you? Adam, I think it is. I do apologise, pal, if you are still watching. Arsenal fan, so he's having a bit of a nightmare at the moment. Scott saying hi to Dean. Red Devils in. All right, Bazza. How are you, pal? Hope you're well. Northern Southerner. Bitters should stay traditional. Enough said. Absolutely. Totally agree.
Couldn't agree more.
That was a bitter, but you could taste the hops. Yeah, I do find some from what I've heard of other reviewers that they're using more sort of IPA hops, aren't they, in some of these beers, and they start tasting like an IPA. And to me, my own personal view is when you start doing that and you're actually changing the beer, it's some styles work and some don't, I think. Old school Yorkshire best bitter is the best. I've got one of them coming up, actually. I've got a bitter in the fridge to do. Feast and XB is brilliant. I don't know if you've had that.
Yeah, great beer.
Yeah. Boxcar double mild. Yes, I've reviewed that and that was fantastic. And I've got the triple to do. The Boxcar mild was amazing.
I'm going to get that. I took it out of my Trembling Madness basket and I wish I hadn't. I really wish I hadn't.
Fantastic, honestly. It was exactly what I said. It was an old style beer that had just been ramped up.
Yeah.
But it still had all the old flavors just ramped up. It was fantastic.
What I want to know, and I'll be interested to see in the comments. I'd love people to put something in the comments. Where's the beer scene going? What style? Because I've got my own views on it. So what style do you think everyone that drinks beer, no matter what beer you drink, where's it going to go this year? Where is it going to go? Because I think the likes of New England IPAs are dead. I think they're done. So where does everyone else think they're going to go? What's next? Or I believe we're going backwards, and not in a bad way.
Yeah,
I believe we're moving back to more traditional styles and good and decent lagers.
I think lagers will be a big thing this year. Actually, I think we'll be like you say. There's more breweries going back. Look at that! I've got a bloody cat in my face here.
There's so many comments.
Yeah, you're probably better off looking at the comments rather than the cat's arse that I'm getting. But yeah, I think lagers are going to be a big thing this year.
Double Diamond.
More breweries are definitely going back to sort of old school stuff. As you say, IPAs, pale ales. It's just too many now. How different can you make them?
Yeah.
And it's all right saying, well, you can do this, that, and the other. But how many over the last 5 years? Jesus Christ! There must be every hop ever bloody used been put in them, and every combination.
Yeah.
And I just don't know where you can change them enough to keep pleasing everyone. Death by Cocktails in. Evening, guys. Just popping in, say hello. We'll have a watch back over the weekend. Hope you're well, pal. Cocktail expert, apparently. Scott saying hi to Graham. Hiya, Scott. Double IPAs are dead this year. Personally, my favourite style of beer, which is a shame. It's a shame. I love a double IPA, especially if it's a banging one.
I think you would still always be able to get them this year, but I do agree with Scott. I do think I certainly think triple IPAs I think are
Yeah.
going to be a thing of the past. Doubles, I think, would just about hang on, but I don't think they're going to have the cooling that they had a year or two ago.
I think triple IPAs are definitely. I'm trying to think of the word. You've got to be really into a triple IPA to drink them. They're not going to appeal to the bog standard beer drinker. I think double IPAs again are probably the same, but for me, I prefer double IPAs over standard IPAs all day long. I love them. They're just in my fucking scan, if you like.
And that's fine. It's down to individual taste, but
I think cost as well comes in.
Cost is going to be a huge thing this year.
You know, triple IPA. I've got one in my fridge, and it cost me a fortune. It's a collaboration from a German brewery and a Polish one, I think. Not cheap, so I won't say anything now. But to be able to afford them, it's is what it is. I think cost is going to be a big thing, and I think it's like anything, isn't it? A decent beer is a decent beer, whatever style. But I think we have saturated the IPA market so much now that we will go old school, and hopefully they'll be making old school sort of beers that are even better than they were years ago. Hopefully, and if that happens, it's a good thing. I think it's bottled ales. I wouldn't disagree with that.
No, I wouldn't. I think they are going to come back in. Well, they've never gone away, bottled ales, and I do think people are going to shift back to them. I really do. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I do think that's where we're going back to.
It'll all turn around again, though, won't it? Over time.
Everything rolls around.
Northern Southerner, Neeper's been flogged to death. Cold IPAs and Yorkshire bitters, he's thinking. High-end IPA is dead. Have a whole video coming out on this.
Look forward to that.
Long as sours stay.
Yes, Chris, I'm with you, mate. I love sours. I absolutely love sours. They're one of my favourite styles. I reviewed this the other day. I haven't uploaded it yet. I reviewed it, but I still haven't uploaded it. Have
you still got mine? I bet you've thrown that one away, didn't you?
No, I've still got it. I've still got it. I have still got it.
Probably out of date.
I know. I'm going to do an out-of-date sour review on that one. That was a Vault City Love Hearts called Only You.
Oh, yeah.
Love Heart Session Sour at 4.5%. 4.5% is quite low for Vault City. But that was immense. That was absolutely immense. I must upload that video. It was immense.
You get it done, man. You get it done. Yeah. Northern Southerner would like to see more beers with cashmere in. I know Duvel use it in their triple hop Citra, don't they? Can't go wrong with a Donkey Stone. Yeah, I think we'll give that one a fucking miss then. Overall. Red Devil, a niche. I'm guessing a niche market. Scott's favourite brewery, Donkey Stone. Sid Cannon. Hi, Sid. Stocked up on double IPA from Unbound Brewing Co. because they had them on sale at £2.50 each. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a bargain.
I'll tell you what, if they're decent, you're going to go wrong. Chris M is laughing at you, I think. Hopefully, and not me. Or you could be laughing at somebody else. Who knows? I don't know. And Steve Z, I think people just want good quality, affordable lager that has a bit about it. Totally agree. Can see that being the way thing. I think anyone who drinks beer, what they don't want is your standard shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be outstanding, but I think if it's got that little bit more about it, a bit more flavour, I think you're onto a winner. Certainly in pubs. In pubs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my local boozer that me and Paul go to quite often, they've got that on tap, Warsteiner, and it's just phenomenal. It's one of their best-selling lagers in that pub, and it is just spot on tap, Warsteiner.
It's a decent beer, isn't it?
It's a decent beer out of a bottle, but to get that on tap in a pub, it's incredible, and it's a great lager. I could go down to my local and drink Warsteiner all night long and be happy with every single pint that is poured. It's a cracking lager. Cracking.
How much they charge for it? Curious.
I think it's about £4 a pint. Yeah.
To me, that's in pub price. That's bloody decent, mate.
It is. It's a great pint. Absolutely great pint. I sent you a picture of it, didn't I, earlier, of the pint I was having
Yes,
earlier.
you did actually. Yes.
Yeah. Great pint.
Steve's just saying, evening. Unity are gone. Yeah, I noticed they'd gone actually.
Yeah, they have, haven't
They were Southampton, weren't they?
Sad.
No, and 7 very sad. Scott. Oh, they are. Steve Z is actually drinking that sour right now.
That's cracking.
Everyone's saying
it's cracking. Well, it's
there
great
we go.
sour.
Dean's commented, Bass was a good pint once upon a time, and actually it was on Perfect Draft.
Funnily enough,
a long time ago, and I had it. I managed to get a keg of it when it was out. It wasn't out for long. I had a keg of it, and it was nice enough.
Well, funnily enough, I reviewed a bottle of Bass. I have reviewed it. I've never uploaded it. I reviewed it about 3-4 weeks ago, and I thought it was awful. And again, the amount of times I turn the camera on, and I never upload videos that I turn the camera on for. I don't know why I do that, but Bass was one of them. I'll have to go back and upload it. I thought it was really poor. Really
to be honest, I've reviewed Bass in the bottle, and it was not a patch on the Bass that I had about 3 years ago from the keg.
Yeah.
And I think that was literally just because of the keg.
Yeah.
It was a totally different drinking experience.
Yeah.
And that's what draft beer does, isn't it? It does give you a totally different experience. So 4.5% it was, 4.4. And it was 30 quid at the time when I bought it. That's when all the kegs were 30 quid pretty much, apart from the Quack and Triple Carmelite. They were 35. So we are going back probably 4 years. I bet thinking about it. Probably 4 years. But yeah, Bass was I quite enjoyed it. Had quite a nice sweet sort of taste to it. JB's, I think we should support local breweries. So yeah, I think anyone who can will support a local brewery if they've got one. I always try and do that with mine. But I think people are always going to use the supermarkets, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, well, yes, they probably are, but it's been a while since I've gone into Sainsbury's recently. I've gone into Morrison's recently, and I've walked away empty-handed. I've literally
not necessarily beer reviewers, if you like. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but I've also found that certainly in all the Morrisons near me, their craft beer shelves have shrunk. They don't have the range that they had a year or 2 years ago. That they definitely shrunk. So
well, where I live, mate, honestly, in Oswestry, Morrison's and what have you, shit anyway. They were terrible. Yeah. So I always end up going to Shrewsbury to get my stuff. But they do a lot of local stuff in these supermarkets. So,
but that's the thing. I think for where you are, you probably will pick up local stuff. But for where I am, the Brewdog shelf is still epic, and there's still the absolute shite that is. Was it Silk Road and their other West Coast IPA? They're still on the bloody shelves, and I think how are Brewdog still selling that? But they clearly are.
There's always going to be people that will buy them, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. And if people enjoy it, then that's fine. If people enjoy it, happy days to them if they like it.
Again, that's it, isn't it? I mean, what we might think is wishy-washy and no flavour, to somebody who's always shopped in the supermarkets, when they're picking up something like, I don't know, Dead Pony Session IPA or something from Brewdog or something, they're probably going to think it's got flavour, which it has to a certain extent. Yeah. But there's so much more than that. But again, cost comes into it. So, you can't really knock anyone, but it's what people drink and can afford.
Yeah.
Chris M, all good beers that get took over usually are rubbish later. They certainly change.
Yep.
I can't really disagree with that.
No.
Scott's having a chat. Steve's having a chat with Scott. Red Devil. You watch Hofmeister go this year. They're already outperformed. Apparently, I did hear at some point there was talk of Hofmeister coming on the perfect draft.
That'd be amazing.
I'll tell you what, if that did, that's a banging drink. Banging drink.
I've not had the new Hofmeister, but a lot of people say how good the Hofmeister is now. And that they're actually English people that have taken over Hofmeister.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I tell you what, I'm going to show you something I found in a car boot sale. And I picked this up for 50p, which is blatantly a steal. You
haven't got a brown bear, have you?
I have.
What?
That is an original 70s Hofmeister glass.
Oh, banging.
It's got the proper date stamp on the top. We've got the proper brown bear.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful glass. I absolutely love it. And I found it at a car boot sale. It didn't have a price on it. And I said to the lady, it was an elderly lady, and I said, how much is your Hofmeister glass? And she said, oh, I don't know, would 50p be all right? I was like, yep.
Oh, you robbed an old lady. That's shocking. That's shocking.
So yeah, you take my 50p. And when you look up the stamp that's on it, it's from the 70s.
You robbed an old lady, and to think I get accused of beating women up. That's shocking. Shocking.
She said it was 50p. I gave her the 50p. But it is one of my most favourite glasses. That is.
That is quality. That is proper.
And I'm still yet to try the new Hofmeister Hells, but from what I've heard, it's a cracking beer, and it is owned by English people. They went to the Hofmeister family, if you like, and said, "Can we buy that brand?" And they sold it to them. They sold them the brand.
As long as the beer is still brewed in the same way, which apparently it is.
Apparently it is, yeah. Apparently,
if they don't change the beer, it doesn't matter who owns it, does it?
No, of course it doesn't. So yeah, I keep meaning to buy it, but I haven't got around to it. But I will. But yeah, if that new Hofmeister starts turning up in pubs, I'm all good with that. All good with that.
Be good. Scott's agreeing with JB. He does more local than supermarket. He doesn't need the subs. Chris M, hit that like button. Exactly, Scott. Fed up with the same old shit from supermarkets. Yeah, well, it's all going that way, isn't it?
I agree.
Neil Smith, loving the live stream. Watch both your videos and great double act. Bring a lot to the online beer community. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
We try.
Chris does more, to be honest. He's nailing a few arbors. Well, funny enough, Neil, we are doing an arbor beer next, and I think we should.
Time we opened it, isn't it?
I do.
Let's get on with it.
Pint can rule. Recording videos and not uploading them, Chris. What's the point? You tit. Yeah, I agree. Boxcar mild, double and triple, bastardized, but in a good way. UB, no idea.
But thank you.
Paul Greenwood, yeah. Put at least £100 through my local bottle shop this month. Fed up. Yeah, that's it. They're all the same stuff, unfortunately. And they're not actually that good. I commented on one of John's videos, JB's, and said, whereas like 3 years ago, you were paying £3 for something in the supermarket, it was quite decent, generally.
Yeah.
Now you're paying £3.50 to £4, and they're not even of that quality anymore. Right. So it's almost worth going on to online shops and paying an extra £1 for a beer that's going to be decent.
I agree. Right, before we open this, I'm just going to go and have a quick pee.
Okie dokie. Right, I'm going to quickly grab a beer from the fridge, but don't go away. I am going to be back very soon. Thankfully, my fridge isn't very far. So I'll wait till Chris gets back, and I'll introduce the next beer we're going to look at. That's it, rather than keep them going. Brewdog are paying big bucks for all that space on the shelf. Yeah, but their beer is, well, you know, a lot of their beer, isn't it? It's pretty shocking now. They've gone too big for their boots, really. Dean said, I see brute IPAs still. Well, I've never had one, Dean. I'll be honest with you. I've never had one. Never had one. No idea what JB's saying there. Yeah, Dean, yuck. Dean doesn't like brute IPAs either, and I can see why. I know they try mixing beers and what have you. You know, we got black IPAs, we got West Coast. You know, mixing all these different styles, if you like. But sort of like almost making an IPA like a bit like a champagne is a bit different. They are now bottling over here to save cash. I take it you're on about Brewdog. Bottling to save cash than cans. I don't know how much difference that would make. Paul Greenwood has said, love the glass, Chris. Loves your glass.
Well, that one.
It must be that one. It's the only one you've had on, surely, isn't it?
Got loads of these.
Oh, apart from, no, probably the Hofmeister, actually, wasn't it? Probably
the Hofmeister glass, of course.
Yeah. Bengal Lancer in 1845 all day long. Yeah, full of stuff.
Great beer, Bengal.
I've only seen that once, and that was when I was down Portsmouth. The 1845 I can get quite regular. Scott's not made of money, so he can't afford the PD.
My PD is being sent back at the moment for repairs.
Thankfully, I am, so, you know. Benjamin saying hi to Scott. Scott saying hi to Ben. Red Devil, it's brewed in Germany by Schweiger. I'm guessing he's on about the Hofmeister there. Chris has gone for a wee in the garden. Good man, did you?
Almost.
Watering the plants.
Yeah.
Lots of other people talking to each other. 4 cans of Lost Cosmonauts in Tesco, £6.50 with a club card. I've not had that for a long time, but I do remember it being a decent beer.
That was good.
Don't think the brewers made much money in the supermarket, and now I don't think they can afford to put. No,
probably right. Probably right.
I'll take the right. There's too many comments to keep going through, so we're just going to fly through it. Just get to the last one now. Apologies to anyone else. Schneider's back on the PD. Yeah, Schneider's hells. Great. Decent. Holding off on spending his tokens. Hope they'll release a new keg soon. Hofmeister would be lovely. It would. Because I'll tell you what, I think if Hofmeister did come out, it would be one of the best lagers on PD, in my opinion. And Scott's just replying to Ben. So
let's do the next one.
Let's get short. I'll introduce this one now.
Go on.
It's my live. I'm doing it.
You can do the last one. Yeah.
Right. Me and Chris are now taking a look at beer from Arbor, who are out of Bristol. And we've got a can of their Texas Sunday Morning IPA. It's another IPA. It's coming in at 6.5%, if I'm correct. Is it, Chris?
I'll go with that. I've only had...
so. My eyesight's awful. It's 5 or 3. It's one or the other.
6 point. I've only had one bad beer from Arbor, and that one bad beer was their alcohol-free. And I don't even know if I uploaded that. I reviewed that as well. I've recorded it. I'm a dickhead. The amount of times I sit in my pub shed and I review beers, and I proper review them. I turn the camera on, and I never upload them. And I don't know what that is about, but I should.
There's been a few that I've done that I've not uploaded. So yeah, Hazy India Pale Ale. Am I going to rely on you to give us a price, or do I have to go and get me a bit of paper?
No, my paper's right by my feet.
Can you read it though?
I sure can.
Right, why don't you get it then and tell them the price?
Let's have a quick stand up. £4.40.
£4.40. Full pint, if it's decent, at 6.5%, I think £4.40 is fair price. And again, we're getting different colours, mate.
So what about the lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks all right. Looks very...
Yeah, again, it's a little bit darker, really, than the marble one for me.
Yeah,
a bit more hazier.
Hazy.
I've got a much nicer head on my beer, and yours looks like it is as well. Bit more fluffy.
Let's have a look, Snifsky.
Oh yeah, that's got a lovely,
You see
lovely hoppy aroma there.
It is hoppy. That aroma, that aroma tells me that's going to be a very soft taste.
Yeah, it's got that soft
taste.
You'd imagine it's going to be soft to drink as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Tropical, citrusy.
Pineapple, passion fruit, grapefruit.
Definitely grapefruit.
Oh, it smells lush. It smells really light, doesn't it? You're getting all them aromas, but it smells light on the aroma.
It smells
punchy.
It smells
concentrated.
Soft. Yeah, it's light, it's soft. It's got all the typical aromas that you'd expect.
It smells good.
I think that's probably going to taste very good, and it's got a lovely hoppiness to it as well, which I love.
It's a lovely hop aroma, that is.
Yeah,
we dive in, mate.
Let's get stuck in.
Give it a go. Cheers, everyone. Oh, another level compared to that. Now, maybe it's just because it's a different style of IPA, but that's lovely.
That's decent. That's a decent beer. Yeah, I like that. Oh, great mouthfeel.
The body, I wouldn't say, is any better than that.
Yes, I'd say it is.
I wouldn't say, but it feels so much smoother.
It's much
it feels
smoother.
Softer.
For me,
it's a much better drinking experience.
It's typical Arbor, is what that is. It's
creamy. It's oaty.
It's just done well. It's what Arbor do. They just do beers very, very well, other than their alcohol-free one. It just does them very, very well. Good mouthfeel, proper decent body to it, good flavour. It's balanced. It's typical Arbor. It's very, very well balanced all the way across the palate. Beautifully balanced.
I think the creaminess gives it the impression of a heavier beer, if you like, in body.
It feels heavier than the 6 point whatever it is. What is it?
6.5.
Yeah, it feels about right, actually. And
the head's creamy on it, and I think that adds to the body. I actually think the weight of the beer isn't massively different, but I think with that creamy head, which we didn't really have, did we, on the other beer?
No.
I think
I'm guessing, I'm going to have to turn my torch on to read the side. I'm guessing that's got oats in it.
It's got to have oats. It's got an oaty taste.
It's got to have oats in it. It has.
Yeah, it's got that oaty taste.
Yeah,
you kind of get that feel with oats, don't you? It's almost got a porridge kind of taste.
Yeah, it does. It makes it smooth, and it's not as soft as I was expecting it to be, but it's still soft. It's still super smooth. The oats give it a fantastic body. For me, it's just Arbor. That is an Arbor beer.
I can taste the oats in that. There was something in there, and I couldn't suss out what it was. And I think you can taste the oats in it. And you might think, oh, that's a bit odd, tasting the oats, but
it's not.
It gives it an earthy feel, if you like.
It's earthy. Well, you get sweetness. You get a lovely fruit sweetness. You get the smoothness is incredible.
Yeah.
That'd be the oats. And it just transitions so well into that hoppy bitterness.
Yeah.
It's typical Arbor for me. It's just typical Arbor.
The tropical taste on that, and there is a tropical taste, I think, in that, it's fuller.
Yeah.
So whereas that one was saying, oh, it's got tropical notes.
Yeah.
Almost watered down tropical notes, you could say now after having that. I think if you had that after this, you'd be massively disappointed.
But what that delivers is maltiness, whereas you don't get that maltiness in this, which is claiming to be a hazy India Pale Ale.
There's a slight malt feel to it, isn't there? I don't think it's void from it. I think you kind of get it in the mouthfeel to a certain extent, but you certainly don't get it so much in the taste.
They're both claiming to be India Pale Ales.
Yeah,
they're two completely different kind of tastes, really. That one,
that
a
is
lot more traditional malty.
Yeah,
but this Arbor is a bit new world. But it
and you
delivers
can
it
see
very
why
well.
people went this way, can't you?
Of course you can. Absolutely.
It goes to show, doesn't it, how when you have a different beer, different take on a beer,
Yeah.
even though they're the same styles, how they can still be decent beers, but totally worlds apart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is gorgeous. So
it is very, very nice.
6.5% is nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. It's only there in body and taste. There's no inkling. It's not too heavy. You can't drink it for me.
No.
And there's certainly no sign of any alcohol in that. It just drinks almost not like a juice drink, almost smoothie like.
Yeah. Yeah, but
not
that's
as heavy
the
as
oats,
a smoothie.
isn't it? But that's the oats that are giving it that kind of smoothie feel. As you say, not quite as heavy as a smoothie. But it's just, for me, I know I said it about 1,000 times. It's just proper Arbor. This is what Arbor do, and they do it so well.
But I think the oats actually add to the taste. I don't think I've ever said that about a beer with oats in. I might have. I don't know. I'd have to go through, but I can't be asked. But the oats add. I don't know. The oats add something, and it just mixes with everything else, and it gives it a much fuller flavour. It's fantastic. That's a fantastic beer.
It is a good beer, and at £4.40 for a pint,
that's is absolutely well worth it.
Oh, it is £4.40. Absolutely no complaints, none whatsoever.
No wateriness there, nothing.
None.
Oh, I'm glad I got that now.
Yeah.
When I done my order, I was trying to go for all the different breweries on the website to try and get different stuff, and the only one that really there was two beers that really stuck out for me on Arbor's section, and it was the double IPA because I love double IPAs, and it was the Hell's Lager, and I think Dean had just reviewed the Arbor Hell's Lager, I think. And I also had a few lagers in my basket, and I thought, I don't want all lagers. I've got to try and change it. And I kind of, it's hard, isn't it? How you shop. I try and avoid session beers. Because they tend to be a little bit wishy-washy. And I picked this up, and I only thought that was about 4.5%. And I picked it up I just thought I'd try it. So when I did see that it was, it was a bit stronger, which I actually thought was 6.3. I thought, oh, but that is fantastic. But doesn't it go to show that, if something doesn't appeal to your eye, it's amazing how it can be so bloody good.
The Arbor Hells is very good. I've had the Arbor Hells. I didn't review it, but I've had it, and I thought the Arbor Hells was very, very good.
You drink an awful lot of beer without reviewing it. You're a bit of a secret lemonade drinker, aren't you?
I am definitely a secret lemonade drinker.
You sneak out to the shed.
I do. I drink way more than I review. Way more than I review. If I reviewed every beer I drank, I'd easily put out a video a day, easily. But I enjoy reviewing beer, and I like my little channel. I love it. But I also love, at the end of a hard day, I normally come home.
Sitting with a beer, yeah.
I get in from work after a hard day, and I generally cook the majority of dinners, which is fine because I enjoy cooking. But I get in from work, I normally unload the dishwasher, load the dishwasher, then I cook dinner for everyone. and I sit down with the wife for a little while. We catch up on things, spend some time with the kids, and then I have to escape. I have to come up to my beer shed and escape the world. So I sit in here and have a beer. And I sit in here and have a beer, and I don't always want to review it. I just want to enjoy it and have my time and just sit here. So I definitely drink. I'm not saying I cane the beers every single night, people. That's not what I'm saying. But I like to just come up into my man cave, my beer shed, or the open arms, as I call it, and just have a beer on my own. So, and I don't want to turn the camera on because I've been talking to people all day. So I just want to sit up here and just chill out. So, yeah, I definitely drink more than I review. Definitely.
I think everyone does. Believe it or not, you know, and it's probably going to sound shocking now because I review quite a lot. But again, as you know, I have the machines, don't I?
Mm.
So that's my standalone beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably drink way too much beer, don't I? But you know, we're not here to judge people, are we?
We're not judging. There's no judging here tonight, people. We're not judging.
I review the beer I want to, and then I have other stuff. Just if I get home from work and I want to just chuck a pint down my neck. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But your views on that, then, Chris?
Yeah, that's
summary on this beer.
Yeah, that's a really good beer. Lovely, good flavour to it. Lovely tropical, lovely citrus. It's got a nice piffiness to it. It's super smooth, which is from the oats. The 6 point whatever it was. Yeah, I'd say it kind of drinks around about the 6-ish%. I know it's slightly higher than that, but that's cracking. That is a cracking beer. It's better than that, but that was just a completely different style. I think it's difficult to come. I know they're both called India Pale Ales, but they're worlds apart. In terms of what they're delivering. So in that sense, you can't really compare them. But the Arbor for me tops the other one, and at £4.40 for a pint of that goodness, happy days. Highly recommend it.
I totally agree. I'll give my point now. As Chris said, they do some really good stuff. A pint can, £4.40, 6.5%. Absolutely quality beer. Again, different end of the scale to Marble's one. Marble's beer I enjoyed. I did like that. I think if I'd drunk the Arbor one before this, I'd have been very disappointed. But I think you need to take the beer as it is. So that beer was very good for what it is, but you can just see why the craft side of things caught on. But also I can, I understand that if you drown yourself with that, the Marble beer would seem very appealing afterwards. But yeah, a great beer. And I would highly recommend picking it up and giving it a go.
My only concern, and this isn't detracting from how good this Arbor beer is, but to go from that to them reviewing that.
We're working our way up, aren't we?
It's going to be ridiculous.
We're not even working our way up steady, are we?
That's going to be ridiculous. That's like, to go from a fruity, smooth, zesty, hoppy IPA to a full-on Belgian. That's so
you'll have to cleanse the palate, mate. I reckon you'll have to cleanse the palate on that one, because that is going to be. Well, I know. We spoke about this before, didn't we? You haven't reviewed it. I have reviewed it.
Yeah.
But I'm quite happy to come and
absolutely
and join in with you on it, because. And what did you pay for yours? I know we shouldn't maybe get into this now.
I'll tell you. I mean, I've had it so many times, and I've had it in the little box. But when I was on Trembling Madness, and I bought the amazing glass, I thought, well, I bought the glass, so I'm going to have to buy another bottle.
You've got to buy one at least, haven't you?
Yeah. So it's probably dearer than how it comes in the little box, but it was. I mean, it's still not, in my mind, an expensive beer for how good it is. I mean, this proves my point. That is a cracking beer. I've had it so many times, and they also do a quadruple in the white wrap as well. I don't know.
I've got that in the fridge.
I think I prefer the white, but That's £3.85.
£3.85. Right, they are.
£3.85.
The poor old Marvel are getting it here, aren't they? Right, that was
Yeah.
£3.85 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's.
I know what I'd rather have.
I know exactly what I'd rather have, and it's going to be that. And that's 10.5%. And this is my thing with. I start getting wound up in some ways with Belgian beers and German beers. I mean, in my recent Trembling on Madness boxing video I did, there was 6 German beers in there. I've drunk all of them, not reviewed one of them, but I've drunk them all, and they're all in. They're all in 500ml bottles. The German beers, they're cheaper than all of the craft beers, and they are absolutely fucking outstanding. I don't know why I don't review them. They're the beers that I sit up here with when I've had a hectic day and I want to chill out, and I open the Germans because they're 500ml. You're getting a good beer, a good quantity, and they're so bloody good. And it's the same with the Belgians. And for that price, which is the same as that, that's a better beer.
There's no comparison, is it?
No, there just isn't.
But anyone watching, if you want that, go into your Lidls.
Yeah.
They have Belgian week, and they do Golden Drac. They do 2 Golden Dracs.
They do that and the white one.
Yeah, you get the white one, which I won't get it. I can't be asked. 2 Parats and 2 Bornhams, and the lowest ABV beer in that box is 7.2%.
Yeah.
And they're 12 quid. You're paying £2 a bottle.
Yeah.
That is just absolutely
steal.
Ridiculous. I bought 6 cases.
Yeah.
In Lidl's just because it doesn't matter.
No.
At that price.
No, it doesn't. The Bornham double is fantastic. I love the Bornham double. Absolutely love it. Yeah, every time that's in Lidl's, I'm in there. I'm in there buying a few cases because you cannot argue with that price.
Without a doubt, if people have money, I'm not saying not money, but if you have a little bit spare to buy good beers, get into Lidl's and buy that 6-pack. Yeah. Even if you buy one. And don't even worry about the dates, because they're normally 23. Well, it will vary, won't it, over the years. I got this. Well, I don't even know. I bought a load a couple of years ago, and then I bought 6 cases last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what case this was from, but this is the 21st of the 9th, 23.
Yeah.
But I bet you that's an old one.
Yeah. But
you will get 2 years at least on a beer, and they don't even think about them. They'll just be fantastic.
But even if they go out of date, they age well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're never going to get bad, are they?
Never. Oh, they're just fantastic. And like I say, when I come up here and sit in here on my own, I'm generally drinking a Belgian or a German. And loving life. I sit up here and absolutely love life when I've got a German or a Belgian, and they're cheaper than craft breweries, and they're fantastic.
Exactly, yeah.
They're fantastic beers. If people, I just get off on one. But if you like a good beer, a good Helles or a good lager or a good Dunkel, go on Trembling Madness, click on the word beers, scroll down to country, go on German, and knock yourself out. You will not be disappointed. You just won't. It's as simple as that.
Well, my father-in-law, my wife's German. He was in the army in Germany and that, and he went on Beers of Europe because he wanted to get some Paderborner Pilsner. And I think it was £50 spend to get free delivery. And he just bought a shitload of Paderborner Pilsner. £2.3 a bottle, 500ml, and then he topped it up with Le Chouffe Rouge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you can get it cheap. You can get decent beer cheap, can you? You say £3 a bottle and what have you.
Yeah.
Still quite cheap. Dear for Germany, isn't it? But Right, I'm going to flick through some of these comments.
Yeah.
Neil Smith has commented, if you could brew your own beer, what style would it be? Which main hop?
That's a tough question. Cool.
Honestly, my main style, I wouldn't know. I've tried doing a bit of brewing, which I might be getting into again, but that'll be a different kind of thing. Which hop, I wouldn't know because I'm an amateur. So I'm going to leave that down to Chris now to answer that one.
Cool. If I could brew my own beer style, if I had the knowledge and the know-how, I would probably brew I would try and brew to the standard of an ESB because I love bitters. I do love proper traditional bitters, and I don't review enough of them, but I've got a few in. If we're talking of hops, there's a number of hops that I do like. But if I was just starting out in brewing my own, I would go with Citra hops to start out with because they're quite readily available. Citra hops are good flavors, so I would start with Citra.
You'd be going down the pale ale then, would you? IPA.
Yeah, but if I had the knowledge and the know-how, and I was going all from hops and everything else, I'd love to brew a good ESB. That would be ace for me if I could do it. If someone could just plug me in and program with me with all the right information, it'd be an ESB without a doubt.
Right, I'm going to scroll down some other comments. I don't know what we're on about here, but Chris has said, Baz and Chris, there's only one way to find out. Fight. I think that's that's probably relating on our opinions about stuff. Because we're that far behind now, I don't know. Red Devil, did I say I booked a cruise? No, you never told me, pal.
Good man.
Hope you enjoy it. Good luck.
Where are you going?
Yeah, where are you going? Absolute Steel, Chris. I'm guessing Dean's commenting about
the glass, the Hofmeister glass.
The glass, yeah. Well, yeah, it could be, or it could be the beer, the other beer. I don't know how far down we are. Doom Bar Zero, alcohol free. I think I've reviewed that.
That's fucking shocking. That is a shocking.
Was it that or the Speckled N? I reviewed. Speckled N wasn't amazing.
I'm sure you've done Doom Bar Zero. I'm sure you have.
I can't remember. Scott's heavier than 6.5%. He's heavier than 16.5%, I reckon. Don't know if it's the lights, but they look a different colour. Yeah, probably the lights. Neil Smith. I'm now on Arbor's Wildcat Nipah. Great stuff. Orangey, full-bodied. Surprising for a 5% Arbor. Solid price for a full pint. I've heard that's supposed to be good. Chris M. Buy some quality beers mixed with some park bench swag and you're sorted. Well, you've done the park bench thing, haven't you?
Yeah, no, it's been a long time since I've done a park bench series, and I have got a 10% park bench beer in my fridge that's been in there for probably almost a year. You've
got to go to a park bench and review it. I reckon
I've got to, and I've got I've got to bring back the park bench series that I did on my channel. It's got to come back, people. It's coming back.
Dean, the best piece of marketing, the Arbor can alone. Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm guessing that's not the artwork, just actually the fact that it's a bigger can.
It's a pint.
Steve Salmon can't beat a good bitter. No, absolutely. Let's open a brewery. I would love to, but I haven't got a clue. David Thompson, evening boys and girls, and I take it he's on about you being the boy and me the girl because he normally gives me shit. And Scott's a good 7, surely. Scott's more like a bloody tiny Rebel 18% Imperial Stout. So we get near the end. I don't know where you are.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm loving that.
I'm going to let you talk for a little bit because I got to go and see the vicar.
You go and see the vicar. Hope you enjoy.
Entertain everyone.
I would do my best to do that.
And then I'll come back and we'll sort of finish off and then we'll get on the big stuff.
Indeed,
Good man.
we certainly shall. Here's a question for you, people. So I can't remember if I put this in a community post a while ago, but I was in my local pub, and I say my local pub, I don't go there particularly often, once, twice a month. And I was in there today with my son. My son's 18 and a half. And he was going out tonight, and he said, "Do you want to come down the pub with me tonight, Dad?" And I was like, "No, but to be fair, mate, I don't really want to go down the pub with you and your mates." I said, "But if you want to nip down the pub now," this was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I said, "We'll go to the pub. Why don't we go down my local, we'll have a couple." So we did that. And we went in there. It was fairly quiet. The bar has got bar stools all along the bar. And when we first went in, there weren't many people sitting at the bar stools, so it was easy to get a beer. But during drinking our first pint, all the kind of regulars, locals came in, and they all sat at the bar. The whole bar was completely covered by people, which I don't like. There's reasons I don't like it. So they're all so close together, they're tucked in like bloody sardines. So if you want to go and get a beer at the bar, you can't, because, well, you could, but you've got to squeeze between people or say to people, "Can you move over?" So I don't like it. I'll be open and honest. I suffer with kind of a social anxiety things. So I couldn't do it. I said, I don't want to walk up there to the bar because everybody, all the locals are sitting at the bar. So we left. I said to him, "Sod it, we'll go to the Victoria up the road." So what are people's views? I want to know what people's views are when the entire bar is lined with people sat on stools. I don't like it. I don't think it's right. So I'd be interested to see what you'll think. I like the fact that people go into the bar, they sit at the bar, they chat with other people, they do all the socialising, no issues. But when it stops people going up to the bar to get a beer, what's everyone else's thoughts on that? Be interested to see what you think. So
I think me and you have chatted about that before.
We have. And
I think we disagreed slightly.
We did disagree slightly,
but I think, yeah.
And I get it. I love the community.
It's how society is, I think.
Yeah. And that pub that I go to is very community focused. So everyone kind of knows each other. And if I went in there regularly, than probably 2 times a month, I'd probably get to know all those people. But I still wouldn't sit at the bar because the fact that I have social anxiety.
Yeah. I
can't try and say, "Excuse me, can I just get through? I won't do it," because, so that's my issue. I accept that's my issue, that I have that social anxiety. But is it right? Because the rest of the pub was fucking empty. All the tables everywhere, no one sat at them because everyone was round the bar, and I could not get to the bar. So my son said to me, he said, "Don't worry, Dad." He said, "I'll just fucking barge my way through." And I was like, "No, bollocks. We're going to another pub. I'm not going to spend my money in here." So, but I like the social aspect. I get it. I get that people are talking. I get that people are popping into the pub for a couple of beers and chatting to people. I get all that, and I've got no issues with that. But should they be swamping the bar? That annoys me. It does annoy me when there's so many places you can go and still sit and chat and everything.
I think it's an old school thing, isn't it?
It is old school.
And I get what you're saying. It doesn't suit you. Again, like lots of things in it don't suit other people and that. I think when I chatted to you before, I think I said I like sitting at the bar myself. If I'm out on my own or something, or going out for a pint, I like sitting at the bar because that's my company then. The people, the bar staff, but but
if you get chatting to other people at the bar, why can't you go, "Let's go and sit at a table"?
Because I think, well, and again, it depends on where I live and what have you. It depends on whether there is seats about or whatever. But I think you just sit there and you're just comfortable, aren't you?
Yeah, but and not that I'm a big
And you
Witherspoon.
can't be asked to move, can you?
But the Witherspoons won't have it in their pubs, and people go and sit at tables.
No.
People are always still chatting in Witherspoons pubs. Not that I'm saying I'm a big Witherspoons fan, but it's not a problem in their pubs, and people still go and sit and chat. And unless you're an absolute regular, you're not part of the group, and that's the other thing. Do you feel part of that community when you can't even get to the bar? You only go in there a couple of times a month, so you're not fully in with them. There are people in there that I've recognised now, and we go, "Hello, how you doing?" And the bar staff recognise me, but I don't know. For me, it doesn't make it right. I don't know.
It's not always something I've done. Don't get me wrong, but if I go in a bar on my own, I do prefer sitting at the bar. But it's not something I've always done, and I've gone in many pubs, and you have that crowd that sit around the bar, and you just push your way in, then you're ready. I suppose it depends on where you're going as well. Because I'm not one of them that goes round towns and what have you, and like, you know, I hate if I'm going out with the lads or something, and it's a very rare occasion. It annoys me trying to get in the bar. Does me head in. I just think, fuck it, can't be asked. But if I'm going into a local pub that I know, and people know me in there, and it's never too crowded, but there's a few there, and you just have to sort of like shuffle over to get in there, it don't bother me. I kind of quite like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
But then flip the coin on that. So you know people in there, you're going in on your own. So you sit at the bar because you can chat to the bar staff, which is all good. And you can chat to other people, which is all good. And then a few other people do the same, and they sit there.
Yeah, you end up hogging the bar, but also I'm paying my way, aren't I? So.
But what about the individual or the individual two that come in that aren't regulars, that haven't been there before, and they come in and they see a bar lined with regulars? How does that make them feel?
I don't know, because where I live, mate, people just say out the fucking way or whatever. No, but it is, you know, obviously areas are different, and what pub you're in and what have you. It depends on how sort of things are. But I've been in pubs, and you try and find a seat or you stand up. So I think certainly from my point of view, you just have to adapt to how things are. You know, and if you are a regular in a pub and what have you, and you do that thing, and you never, because a lot of people won't say nothing either.
No.
You know, but if I'm at a bar and somebody's trying to get in, I'll move over or I'll move out of the way. So a lot of it is social communication as well.
Yeah, see, I would do that. If I went in that pub regularly and people came in, I'd think, I need to move. These people need to order a drink. So I would. But today I've got the feeling no one would have moved.
I can't speak for your area, can I? You know, but again,
of course you can't.
You know,
but it'd be interesting to see what people say in the comments. So
they're probably commenting now. We've been talking so long.
Well, crack on. Let's have a look.
Right. I'll tell you what, right? We'll go for a few more comments. Mark Jones, hey guys, hope you're good. I'm on an arbor at the moment. Are you, Mark? What arbor are you drinking? Chris M, are you David? David, are you Chris? Dean, Golden Drac. Now that's about, or they do a smoked version, which is a bit. Yeah, I know he's reviewed the smoked one. I think Dean has. I've not seen it anywhere, but sometimes Dean shops on. Yeah, that would be amazing. I bet.
Ooh.
Mark Jones has asked what you're on, Chris. Well, we're both on that as it happens. Hang on. The camera thing.
It's nearly gone.
We're both on that one. Me, Smash and Grab. The other Chris. Yeah. Chris M, he's on Smash and Grab. That's the double IPA. Decent beer. Folks sit at bars, just go with the flow. Yeah, it's everyone to their own. I'm not sitting here and I'm going to knock Chris or anything. You know, we all have our own little things that we like and bother us. You know, that's what makes us different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm a complete arsehole at times over nothing. So I can't sit here and criticise any fucker. Someone was saying the same the other day. Funnily enough, normally they would be at the side of the bar. Yeah, things have changed. It's ironically enough. I mean, you saying about the bars and that, it depends. I suppose it again depends where you are. Bars aren't like they used to be. So I bet if you went back 30 years ago and you were going out drinking now, wanting to get a space, you wouldn't, would you? I think bars were probably worse then, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are restaurants now, so more people probably do sit down. But then you will have the hardcore that like to stand at a bar. So, make it that what you like. Sid Cannon, if I was sober, I wouldn't like it either. If I was pissed, yeah. Again,
That's the difference.
I think that's like anyone, though, isn't it? You could sit down with a bunch of pissed people, and if you're stone cold sober, it's never the same, is it? Ask my missus; she stuck with me. I think they should move away from the bar. Chris, happens all the time. Yeah, especially at Christmas. Yeah. Fucking hell, I can't be asked for. I hate. Honestly, I'm with you, Chris. I hate queuing at the bar. I don't mind people being there, but I like a bit of courteous.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the point. And that is exactly the point. You're right. It's about being courteous, isn't it? You're all lining a bar, so just be courteous to the people that aren't lining the bar. Just accept.
If you're down to people standing at the bar or down to the people themselves?
Yeah, just move. Just think, we're all lining the bar. No one can.
We all want a beer.
So be courteous to the people that aren't lining the bar.
Yeah,
exactly that. Yeah,
absolutely. Taking air on, Chris. Yeah,
I'm fucking right, Mark. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take an air horn. I'm all over that idea.
You feel bad taking up a table? If I don't actually, no, I don't. And again, it's like a couple of things I've said to Chris. At the end of the day, I'm paying my money, so I don't care. No, if they're personally, if it's only me, I'm paying my way in that pub. If I want a seat, I'll have a seat.
Yeah.
If there's disabled people that need to table and what have you, yeah, of course I'd move.
It depends on the size of the table.
People can share. Yeah.
If the table's clearly laid out for 4-6 people, I'll always look for the table that's a 2-seater type table. So you're right. It does depend on the size and not taking the piss. It's all about not taking the piss. Just being respectful to people.
Oh, Bullman's in. How are you, Greg?
Evening, Greg. I hope you're well.
Comfy sitting at the bar, but only do it on my own. Yeah, again, I'm like that. You got to earn that right. I wouldn't do it if the bar. No. And I think probably a lot of people do generally do it because either they're on their own and they feel comfortable. You get 6 or 7 people doing it, and then all of a sudden talking to each other, it looks like they're a group. You could say.
Look, I've got no issues. Let's just say someone lives on their own and they don't have a big friends network or whatever, because I'm all about supporting people and helping people. I love that. So if you're one of those people that you haven't got a huge friends network and the pub is your outlet, and you go and sit at the bar on your own, which means you can engage with people, I'm absolutely all for that, because we're human beings, we're social creatures, and everyone needs that. So I've got no issues with that, none whatsoever. But when the whole bar is completely lined and none of them are noticing that other people are trying to get to the bar, that's my issue. Yeah. Pubs are social places, and I'm all for that. I'm all for people finding it as a release, finding someone to chat to. Absolutely good as gold, no issues. It's when no one acknowledges that other people are trying to get to the bar. That's what gives me the ump.
Are we maybe on different wavelengths here? Because the comments I'm bringing out are more to sort of smaller local pubs.
But
it seems more what you're on about is, still a smaller local pub, maybe for your area, but a busy one.
No, it's still a very, very local pub. It is still a very local pub. And
are they antisocial buggers then?
Some are. When I first went in that pub, and I've been in there with Paul from Paul's Beer Reviews, and we've experienced.
That's why they're ignoring you.
Yeah, maybe.
It's him.
And we've both experienced it numerous times. Me and my wife have experienced it numerous times, where you walk in and it's tumbleweed. Everyone turns and looks at you. It is that type of pub.
I've been in a couple of them.
Yeah, but it's still a great pub, and I love it. They do great beers. They do proper beers, and I'm slowly being acknowledged in there, but I still don't like the fact that the bar is covered. It's a huge pub. The pub's huge. Me and my wife sit there and we're like, this pub's amazing, and it's got so much potential. It's huge.
There's too many arseholes at the bar.
Yeah, but everyone is at the bar when there's so many tables and so many places you can go and sit. It's vast. Yeah, they're all at the fucking bar.
Yeah. They got a full pint. Is there something wrong with that seat?
Yeah, exactly.
A 4-pint jog sitting at the bar. There's no need. No. Dean said hello to Greg. Chris M, can't make everyone change because you have unfortunately.
I completely agree with Chris M, and as I said, my social anxiety is completely my problem, and I don't expect everyone to change for that. I'm all over that. I completely agree, Chris M. Completely.
Poor old Mark's having a go at Dean. Bless him, you old fossil.
He is.
Everyone's saying hello by the looks of it. Do you find the same seating at the bar at the brewery tap rooms? Yeah, we'll click on that one. You do get people. Well, I think you get people standing at a tap room. I think, don't you? I don't know. I don't do a lot of it.
I haven't been to a huge amount of tap rooms, to be fair. No. So I can't comment.
No, I can't either. Dean's there. Agree. I wouldn't like to lean folk over to get. No, it is a pain, but I've got to admit, the amount of years I've gone out to pubs and shit. And certainly in where I live, the town, it's always been, it used to be chocker years ago, and it was a nightmare. I used to hate it. And it was always all that stuff. So whether I've just got used to it, I don't know. They all line the bar when the barmaid's decent looking with a big frontage. Yeah, we all know that one, Mark.
She was today.
Yeah. Wasn't today, no?
It was today, yeah.
Oh, what? All right, there you are then.
Yeah.
Was the frontage above the bar or down by the knees?
No, it was above. It was above. It was all good.
I shouldn't be going down there, should I? I agree. I wouldn't like to lean over if I get blah, 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 blah. Just opened an arbour called You May Say I'm a Dreamer. I did see that actually on the site. And then, yeah. Shortbread stout. Yeah, I didn't fancy a stout, to be honest. I did see that, but I didn't fancy it. Right, we're down to the last comment. I'm 6'4" and BO. Never have trouble squeezing in. I'm guessing he's saying he's got BO. Does he? I don't know. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to collate. Chris, you're a big lad at 6'4". That's all I'm going to comment on, and it's no wonder nobody picks on you. So, have you finished, Mon?
Finished, Mon.
You finished? Yep. Rule empty. We're going to dive in on the big one now. So this is your big time, pal.
Let's do it.
I've had my bit of fame by introducing the last beer. You can have the fame now. Poor old Baz. Where's my bottle opener? My bottle opener's gone.
That's a good point. Where's my bottle opener? There it is.
I've got another one. I think it's in the front room. There we go. Introduce it, pal. Introduce the beer.
So let's have a go. We've both obviously got the Golden Drac, the 9,000 quadruple, coming in at a big old 10.5% ABV. We've both got the amazing best German beer glass I've got.
German? Belgian?
Belgian. Don't know why I said German. Belgian. 500 ml glass. It's a cracker, this glass.
It's a belt. I'll tell you what, even if you don't drink Golden Drac, you need to buy that glass.
It's known as the egg, isn't it? The egg glass.
Yes, it's a dragon egg. Golden Drac is a golden dragon, apparently, I think.
And I've got a lot of Belgian glasses. This is one of my favourites, the Castile. I can't reach the Delirium, which is also one of my favourites.
That one, Mom.
Yeah, that's amazing. Got that one. The Le Trappe is an amazing glass. That's
That's
fantastic.
behind me, Castile. I can't get them all, Mark.
Can I reach the Delirium? No, I can't. I'm going to break it if I reach it. The Delirium is great glass, but that is fantastic.
It's another level.
Absolute another level. I want to know, has Dean's beer reviews got it? He must have it.
I don't think Dean has this. So, Dean, you need to pick one of these up.
Dean, if you're still watching, have you got that glass? Because Dean's got a good collection of Belgians. I've got them up here. I need to do a tour of my shed. I've got loads over there. I've got loads over there. But that is the best.
The base on that glass is just solid, isn't it? It's like 2 inches of solid glass.
Thick as you like. So anyway, great glass, a great beer. Baz has reviewed it. I've never reviewed it, but I've had it plenty of times. It's cracking. Let's get on with it.
Let's get it cracked open. 10.5% of gorgeous beer. Let's hope none of us have one of them ones where it just goes. But you're safe anyway.
Belgian beers do have a habit of exploding.
Yeah, they can be a little bit feisty, can't they?
Oh, look at it. It goes in there with so much room.
Look at that. You can pour
so
that
much
with
room.
venom.
2 in there almost.
Look at that. So mine's looking a little bit lighter than Chris's, but again, that's light.
That's the light.
That is a deep amber colour for
Very
me.
deep amber. The carbonation is ferocious.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, and they're not nucleated glasses, are they?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think
so.
they
I've
are.
not really looked. I've got about a finger and a half of just off-white, really compact head.
Oh, it looks amazing. Look at it.
That is a good-looking beer, isn't it?
Do you know what I've got to go and do, though?
Pee?
I've got to go and have a pee.
Right.
I want to review this beer and do justice, and I can't do that.
It's a good job. There's lots of carbonation in this beer cup.
I've got to go and have a pee. I'll be back. Stick
Right,
around.
So, while Chris goes and waters the garden, I'll catch up on the comments. Ignore that part there. Sorry, Dean. There we go. We go back to Mark. So we saw that one. Chris, he's 6'4". BO never had trouble squeezing in. Yeah. Having a bit of fun. On your marks, get slurring. Yeah, we'll be there. Don't worry. Mark Jones, good start. 2 Southerners can't even find a bottle opener. Great. I always had a bottle opener. Thank you, Mark. Always got one, but I like to use a certain bottle opener because what that one does, call me a bit pathetic, but what it does, it puts a crease. If you can see in the bottle cap, I liked the other one. Literally opens it, but it just literally opens the edge, so it doesn't bend the bottle cap. So yeah, it's a little bit anal, but I got bottle caps galore, bottle openers galore. Trust me. Oh, and Dean said did have, if you know what I mean, Degar. Oh no. So Dean's had the golden drac glass and broke it by the sounds of it, and he's broken the Degar one. I can't believe he's broken the Degar one. That is shocking, Dean. What is going on in your shed? I would say your house, but it's in your shed. So yeah, we're down to the last beer now. Like I say, we've looked at Marble's India Pale Ale. We've looked at Arbor's Texas Sunday Morning IPA. Absolutely fantastic. And now, finally, we're looking at Golden Drac 9000 Quadruple. So the beer is in a glass. I'm going to take the comments off. Look at that.
What a beer. What a glass. Still ferocious carbonation.
Oh, yeah, it's going nuts in there. It's a lovely, I think we said the colour, didn't we? But it's almost changed for me. It's almost like a deep chestnut colour now for me.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And I'm getting some of that. When you lift your glass up, there's a little bit of light bleeding through and then it matches. So, yeah. sort of matches
Look
this.
at that.
But that is a great looking beer, isn't it?
Great beer. Great glass. Let's get sniffing.
I'll let you dive in with the honours, mate, with the sniffing and all the tasting notes, and I'll just chuck my little 5p in.
Oh, I love that aroma. Belgian beers just deliver such a fantastic aroma. And I haven't said this for a while. I've said it a few times on reviews. Oh, but that aroma just gives me a, without even drinking it, the aroma gives me a calming feeling. Gives me a relaxed feeling. It gives me that I need to be sat in front of a fireplace.
It's so rich.
Fire. Yeah, rich. It's deep. They just have glorious aromas.
I've dived in that take, sorry. Got carried away.
There's sweetness.
I was sniffing it and couldn't help myself.
No, there's sweetness. There's dark fruits. Dark fruit sweetness. Dark fruit just soaked in booze, raisins, sultanas, figginess, just absolute, all of the dark fruits soaked in booze.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
Very much a rich, sweet brown sugar kind of sweetness to it.
Absolutely. All that dark fruit soaked in booze with all that brown sugar. There's a kind of a yeasty vibe going on. And I just find it relaxing. Just the aroma alone.
Yeah,
I find just relaxing. And I know that might sound strange.
I get a little bit of an animal feed kind of maltiness, a real rich malt.
Yeah, there is a maltiness, but it's everything else.
Dark, rich malt.
It's more the sweetness. It's more the dark fruit sweetness. It's more that booziness, slight caramel element to it. And I don't know what it is, and I know it sounds absolutely fucking weird, but I just find Belgian beers have an aroma that just the aroma makes me feel chilled out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, and I don't know if I'm the only freak that feels that way, but you just know it's going to be good. You just know that's going to be outstanding.
It's a richness in the aroma.
Yeah, it is.
It's a relaxing richness. I think they're complex, aren't they?
Yeah, they are complex.
What you say now, I bet you before the end of it will change.
You're right. They're complex, but it's an understandable complex.
Yeah.
I smell those and I feel my shoulders kind of drop, and I just go, "Oh, that's proper. That's a proper
brown
beer."
Sugar, big brown sugar in there.
Oh, they're just incredible.
Sweet licorice, I pick up.
Yeah, I get that. I understand why you'd say that.
I think with the brown sugar, there's a licorice element in there. And I think if you kind of mix licorice with brown sugar, almost make it sweeter.
Yeah.
There's that feeling in there.
Yeah.
Dive in, pal.
Let's
dive in. Give it some.
Cheers. I've
been teasing you. Cheers.
Oh.
That's rich.
Oh. I was worried. I was worried about drinking that straight after that. But actually, it's made no difference.
It has so much flavour.
The depth of those.
You do your review, mate. You do that review now. And I'll give my opinions on what I think.
For me, it's the depth. You get so much depth of flavour. You get a great mouthfeel. You get a great body. You get good carbonation. And whilst the carbonation in there is absolutely going berserk, it's not the same in the mouth.
No.
The 10.5% is not obvious. You know it's boozy, but it's not aggressive.
No. It's not like drinking a wine or anything, is it?
No, it's not.
It hasn't got that booziness.
The sweetness, the dark fruits, you get a maltiness, a yeastiness. a bitterness, a sweetness, dark fruits in abundance. It's just so balanced all the way through. They're just complete beers for me. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely worth every penny.
Smooth.
Oh, I'll tell you what,
Creamy.
these beers are as smooth.
Smooth,
You know, it's
creamy.
just ridiculous
They're
how good
absurd.
these beers are.
They're warming. They're not warming in an offensive way. They're relaxing. Every mouthful for me is like the aroma. It's
They're
just
woody.
relaxed.
They're oaky. They're malty.
Oaky, absolutely.
They're rich. They've got that, like you say, raisin, sultana kind of fruitiness to them. They're
Then
dark. There's the sweetness of the brown sugar.
Mm.
They've got a really good body, this has, but it's not so heavy that you know, seriously, at 10.5%, it's not a beer that you would say, oh, you can only drink one of.
No.
It drinks like something that is 5%. You seriously could drink, but the alcohol would catch up with you, if you know what I mean.
I would say you could drink two very, very comfortably.
Yeah.
Easily. The third, you might start thinking, oh, hang on, it's getting a bit heavy now.
Yeah.
But two of those, if you hadn't drunk anything else all evening.
But that drinkability of it.
But it is. Two of those would be immense with nothing else. But it brings
the percentage and the weight of the beer and the richness. You shouldn't be able to drink two or three of them, should you? You shouldn't because, but they do it so well. It's unreal.
And I've done it. I've done it with these. I've come home from a very hectic day at work. I've done dinner. I've done everything. I've done all the family stuff, and I've come up here and just drunk one of these, and that's it. No other beers, nothing else. And I've drunk one of these, and I know when we do beer reviews, we do the aroma, we sniff it. But when I'm not reviewing beers, I still do exactly the same thing. And I sit here and
you can't help it.
You can't. And I sniff it, and I have one of these, and on the aroma, I'm sat there as I am now, nice and chilled. And then I drink it, and I think, this is what beer's about. This is exactly what beer is about. This is what it's made for. I can have one of these. It's 10.5%. I can enjoy that aroma, and I feel relaxed instantly off the aroma. And I drink it and think, wow, I'm relaxed. And I sit here watching crap on YouTube, and I watch random stuff on YouTube.
I know, apparently you're sub to me, aren't you?
Yeah, apparently I am. It's up to him. And I just feel completely chilled out. And after 45 minutes of sitting in here with just something like that, I'm in a great place, an absolutely great place. And
Do you not think that is a sign of how good this beer is?
That's exactly the sign, isn't it?
Right? For somebody who, you know, if people aren't big drinkers, now I'm not saying I'm a massive drinker, and I don't believe I am, but I do like a beer. But for somebody who just enjoys a beer for what it is, buying something like that, and what you get off the aroma, what you get off the experience of drinking it, and how smooth, soft, how calming, relaxing, never mind the taste. Let's get to the taste as well. You know, I don't even know where I'm going with this. That is the beer to have.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're not a big beer drinker.
No.
It's just a great beer. Even if you're one beer on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday. If you sat and drunk 3 of them over a weekend, one each night, do you really need much more? Honestly.
Really? Not really.
I don't think you do, because it's such a quality beer. And like I say, if you get them from Lidl's, you got no worries about the dates, have you? Let's
No.
be honest. You know, you could literally go in there and you could buy that 6-pack, and you would have 6 good beers. You'd have 6 weeks beer. Well, 2 weeks beer if you had three over a weekend for 12 quid.
I know. It's immense.
It's mental.
Yeah.
Mental.
No.
And even at your price, at £3.85, it's a steal.
Yeah.
You're still getting a bloody good beer.
It's an immense beer. It's fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love that.
That's the equivalent of a strong English ale, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Better.
But better. But always
way better. And, you don't want to slate the English breweries and that, but my God, that is just a fantastic beer.
No.
Fantastic beer.
It's glorious. I mean, and like I say, when I come up here in the evening, and I'm not going to review it, I do still do the whole, let's have a sniff of it.
I think you just get used to it, didn't you?
yeah. You know, does it become part of the norm? But I do enjoy the aroma of a good beer. Whether I'm reviewing it or not, I do enjoy the aroma of a good beer. And I know every time I crack open a 10.5% or 10% Belgian, I know the aroma is going to be amazing. And that aroma kind of puts me in that cycle of, oh, that's amazing. And I start relaxing just off the aroma. And that's why, I know I said earlier, I drink more beers than I review, because I get up here and I open the beer and I get that aroma and I get that, oh, that smells amazing. I can't be asked to review anything. I just enjoy it. So for me, that is part of all of it. The aroma is massively part of enjoying beer for me. It's not just about drinking it. It is about the aroma, how that aroma makes me feel. But Belgian beers and some Germans, especially Dunkels, they just put me in that relaxed state. Just on the aroma alone, I'm just like, oh.
And the glass.
And the glass. And the glass.
Honestly, there is. I don't, I know people say, oh, does the glass really make a difference? Maybe not. I don't know. But when you have the glass and you have really good beer and you sniff it and you taste it and you sit there, again, it's not going to be that same feeling that when you go out with the lads and you're going to fucking get a pint of Moretti or something. It's not the same thing.
Of course it's not. It's the experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's all about the experience. And it doesn't matter whether that glass makes any difference to how the beer tastes from a glass like that. It's about the experience. It's about what's going on in your head. It doesn't matter, does it? But if you pour a beer, a branded beer, in its own glass,
somehow it tastes better.
It just does, doesn't it? And it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It doesn't matter one shit whether it's true or not. It's how it makes you feel. And
exactly. Who's to say it's true?
If it makes you feel good and it makes you feel like you're enjoying it more, then what the fuck does it matter? It doesn't matter one jot, does it?
If I paid £6 for that beer in a pub, in that glass, would I care? No.
Of course not.
Because I'm paying another £1 at least.
Yeah.
For that experience.
Yeah.
And if that gives me, what's it going to, I don't know. If you drink that beer in half an hour and you've paid an extra £1 to have it in that glass, is it worse than going on a fairground ride at £6 a shot?
No, there you go. Doesn't matter.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter. It's all about how it makes the individual feel.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And if it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel happy, then spot on. That's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about for me. Simple as that.
And that's it.
Yeah. Done. That is bloody glorious.
Yeah. Without a doubt, Golden Drac, I mean, if you're into your Belgian beers, you're going to know about that beer anyway. You need to drink it. You need to drink it. You need to go to Lidl's as well when they have the box sets in there for 12 quid, I think it is, for 6 bottles. They're an absolute steal. Don't worry about the date. Not that they're ever short dated, but
No.
you can just sit them in your fridge and don't give a shit. Nearly all Belgian beer is live yeast, so all it ever does is just gets better.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend it. I'm going to let Chris do his bit.
Absolutely, highly recommend it. It's a fantastic beer. But at the same time, I've been looking at the comments, and Chris M has said if you can't afford that beer, you can always have the Duvel Standard or triple hop. Absolutely. You know, I mean, this isn't massively more expensive than the Duvels, but the Duvel is a great Belgian blonde. The Duvel Triple is a great beer. You know, Belgian beers are affordable. Simple as that.
They're actually more affordable than British craft beer, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are. Simple as that. And they're fantastic. Fantastic beers. I love them.
Don't let the ABV put you off. Anyone watching, if there is anyone watching, well, I know there's people watching, but if there's people watching that haven't tried it, don't let it put you off.
No.
I actually think if you went to Lidl's, as it happens, and you bought 6 bottles for 12 quid, I think that is a reasonable gamble. If you've never tried them, it's worth a gamble.
It is. I'd say it is.
It really is, because if you happen to like 1 or 2 of them beers, you know, for me, you can say, oh, well, I paid like 12 quid for 2 beers. You pay 12 quid in the pub for shit.
Yeah.
And if you really enjoy these beers, you know, give it a go.
Yeah.
I can't see how. You've got to be open-minded, haven't you, with beers, I think.
You have got to be open-minded. You really have. And when I first started out a good few years back on craft beers, I went too big too early. And I can't remember what it was. But I bought a beer. I can't remember what it was. And I found it revolting because I went too big too early. So I scaled it back. But with Belgian beers, you can go from drinking macro type lagers to drinking decent, reasonable Belgian Belgian blondes in quite an easy transition. Yeah. I think you can. And I'm not knocking macro beers. If people enjoy them, happy days. You enjoy what you like. But there's alternatives that aren't far off the same price that are much better.
I love this comment. I got to put this one up.
I tried to drink the little box one night. Blimey, they're stronger than you.
I'll tell you what, if you do a little box, I'll tell you what, you're doing a good job. Fair dues.
You've done a little box in one night. What I do want to go back to, I don't know where it is. Let me find it. Let me find it. Cool, we are. 900 hours. I want to go back to this comment that Scott has said. I don't sit, so at over 900 hours PM, even though there's no
sit and sniff, swirl anything.
Yeah, there's no such thing as 0900 PM. But Scott said at 0900, I don't sit and sniff and swirl anything if I'm not reviewing stuff. I just sit and enjoy a beer. Really? I'm going to challenge you on that, Scott, and you can message me on WhatsApp, Scott. Do you seriously not sniff every beer you drink? Because I do. Even if I'm not reviewing it, I do. If I'm not reviewing it, you don't sniff it. Message me, Scott. Message me. Because I do. Even if I'm not reviewing it, I sniff
I
every.
think if you're into beer, you'll do it.
I don't swell. I know Scott swells, and I've seen you swell,
Oh,
Baz.
I'm terrible. I even
Yeah,
do it at home. I genuinely do it if I have a beer. And do you know
yeah.
how many times I tell myself off for getting beer on my fucking leg or my foot because I've swirled it too much?
Yep.
You wouldn't believe. But
I
yeah,
don't do it.
it's
I don't swell, but I definitely sniff, even if I'm not reviewing it.
I can't help it. It's just saying I do. It's not.
But
It's
yeah,
probably something I've done because of the reviews, but I just do it anyway. It's
but
just
yeah, the Scots, he reviews beers. He's a good reviewer, but I don't sit and sniff and smell anything if I'm not reviewing it. Oh, I do. Message me, Scott, if you do that. If you don't swirl and sniff,
salty popcorn. He loves Belgian beers.
everyone does. Everyone
I'll
should.
tell you what. I think they're saying if you don't like Belgian beers, German beers, or Czech beers,
Yeah, something wrong with you.
because that is the standard for me. But
They are the standard. You're right. They are the standard.
if you want flavour, if you want something nice to drink, but who am I to
That's
say?
glorious. That is so glorious. Do you know what? These Belgian beers, they make me unsociable because they do. They make me unsociable because all I want to do is go and sit in the corner of my beer shed or my lounge and just sit there, drink that on my own and enjoy it and love my own company.
Now, wrong with that though, is there?
That's what they do for me.
We all need our own space, don't we, Chris?
Yeah, we do.
And yeah, why not have that best experience while you're doing it? If you
Absolutely.
what's it like, £3.85 and a fiver for the glass.
Yeah.
So you paid £8.85 for that.
Yeah.
But you get to keep the glass.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, I'd happily do that in a pub.
easily. Oh.
Because I know I wouldn't sit there and drink 10 of them.
Well, yeah, it's just, for me, that's divine. That's heaven. That is. They're just fantastic. So good. So good. I could quite happily just flick off this live and fuck off and go and sit on my own and enjoy the rest of that.
Hey, you do it, Mon. If you want to finish it, we'll finish it now. I'm happy to, pal. I'll tell you what, if you want to anyway, because it's 9:15, isn't it? So we've had a couple of hours now.
We've done well.
Let me get through these comments.
Yeah, get through the comments.
What's there, and it just
crack
give over the
crack on.
Mark Jones had a dunkel last weekend. Very nice, getting into wheat beers. Yeah.
Dunkel's great.
I like a wheat beer.
Great.
I've got to admit, I went through a phase where I was really big into them. Not so big into them, but I do like them. Sid Can, sometimes placebo is a good thing.
Nothing wrong with
Paul's beer reviews. Amen, that Chris. Well said.
What did I say? What did I say?
I think it's something about good Belgian beer, something like that. I don't know how far behind we are. Andy K, evening all, late to the party. Thank you, Andy.
Hope you're well,
much appreciated, mate. I had to buy a chalice for Belgian brews. Yeah, they are lively. But I'll tell you what,
well, they can.
Doesn't it show that they know the sort of glass that you need? It's got to be wide, isn't it? So when you pour it, that head spreads out.
Yeah.
Imagine getting a fucking Carlin in a fucking chalice glass. Shocking. No, I haven't yet. I know a lot of people have had it and said it's overpriced, but
I missed the overpriced party. What do they call that party they do every year? What's it called?
Putty.
Oh, party. Fuck me.
Verdant, isn't it? Verdant's Putty.
Verdant Putty. Jesus Christ.
IPA, isn't it?
I missed it. It was all gone by the time I even thought about it, but wasn't bothered.
I hardly ever scratch and sniff. I'm into beer. And I'm into beer. Yeah, well, yeah, but do you know what? The funny thing is, when you sit here and you're trying to give opinions on beer, what you're trying to do is give everything. You're trying to tell people how it smells. You're trying to tell people how it tastes. It doesn't mean you're right.
No, of course it doesn't.
But when you're doing it, you feel you owe that to people.
Mm.
I think. Might sound a bit pompous, but
Yeah,
it's
not
not
so.
trying to be, is it? But you got to make it interesting for people who are watching, haven't you?
Yeah.
And then hopefully people watch it, maybe buy the beer and go, oh yeah, yeah. And you only get what you get from it, didn't you? Chris M. I could used to love John Smith's
Tempo.
Oh, he's come here. I noticed he's commented actually on a couple of my videos lately. I think Czech is better than German. Czech beer is good. Czechs are more lager, aren't they? Lager based, I think. But saying that, Czech beer is decent. So, Czech beer is up there almost with German beer and Belgian beer.
Yeah, Czechs are great.
Andy K, I always sniff the beer. Sometimes it's the best port.
It is.
Best part.
And you're not wrong, Andy.
Don't talk to me about port. I've drunk too much port and fucking coloured the floor with purple before.
Sometimes it is the best part. Sometimes it is. And I agree with Andy K. Like these. I mean, yes, it tastes amazing. But when you sniff a beer like that and it makes you
put it together.
Yeah. And it makes you feel like, oh, that smells amazing. Just the smell makes you feel relaxed, and then you taste it, and you're just in another world. I agree.
Belgian beers tend to live up to the aroma, don't they?
Absolutely.
For me, I would say in the taste, what you get in the aroma, it lives up to it in the taste. Yeah. With some of the craft beers, when you sniff them, you're like, yeah, it smells nice. And then it lacks that.
Absolutely. Yeah. But Belgians.
And you'll be paying £4, £5, £6 for them.
Yeah. But Belgians never do they? And that's what I love about Belgian beers and German beers. More so Belgians, their aromas just live up to the taste, or the taste lives up to the aroma.
Yeah.
Say. And they're amazing, without a doubt.
Right, where are we now? Andy K. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Mark Jones, if you have any more. No complaints with Jupiler? No? Decent enough lager?
We didn't talk about Jupiler, but I'll agree with you, Dean.
On the PD, though, isn't it? You've had it on PD, haven't you?
Yeah,
Dean's had it. I've had it. Oh. Just got another beer 52 delivery then, eh? Yeah, I am an aisle with them. What do you like with beer subscriptions? Do you do them? Do you, Chris? Or
no, I don't. I've done beer 52. I've done subscriptions to a few breweries, but I've knocked them all on the head. Now, the same money that I put into beer subscriptions and beer 52, I just put in that money to Trembling Madness. I'd rather go for a variety, different breweries, different beers. I don't do subscriptions anymore.
There's too many beers to buy, isn't there? I think to keep something like that going, I think they rely probably on people who maybe subscribe for 1 or 2 months.
Yeah.
Maybe 3, and but yeah, it's it's hard to just bloody keep. Not only that, you got to keep drinking it, haven't you? I know a lot of youngsters out there that'll be drinking 8, 9, 10 pints, but when you're old, certainly like me, you can't do that. Can't do that now. 4 or 5 pints, I'm fucked. I am genuinely 5 pints. I'm like, you couldn't drink 5 pints of that, could you?
Oh God, no. Oh God, no!
Be like 8
Mess.
bottles, wouldn't it? You know,
Yeah,
you'd end up in a mess. I'd rather drink 5 of them and
yeah,
go home wobbling than anything else, to be honest.
yeah.
Chris Cooper. Hi, fellas. Hope you're good. Just joined. Yes, we're all good, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Oh, hang on. Wrong one. Sid Cannon. Was it like sniffing Vizzy Poo, Chris? I'm not even sure.
That fucking fizzy poo snout was outrageous. That was horrendous.
That's going back to thingy, isn't it? Bloody hell, we're about 2 reviews back, aren't we?
That was terrible. That mad squirrel. Oh, it was dreadful. It literally was like drinking or sniffing.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
You just think of a lump of dog poo that's gone.
No, I don't want to think of. I've got cats. I'm just thinking the cat shit now.
I mean, cat shit is a bad smell, but that
it's terrible, mate.
That fizzy dog poo stout was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was horrendous. Oh, well, probably one of the worst stouts I've ever had in my life. It was awful.
Is that Mad Squirrel?
It was Mad Squirrel, who used to be one of my top brewers, but that was outrageous. It was so bad. So bad. It was just fizzy chocolate. It was fizzy dog poo. You break the dog poo, then you get a bit of chocolate. It was rancid. Awful. Couldn't finish it. It went down the drain. Terrible. Terrible.
Here we go. We got Chris Cooper here. Not going to lie, drinking Holston pills. Hey.
Oi, nothing wrong with the Holston pills.
Hey, at the end of the day, I tell you what, people drink what they drink.
Mm-hmm.
We can all sit there and say there's a better beer than that and there's a better beer than this. I'd like to think we're just here giving our opinions, and if some people give a shit, they do. If they don't, they don't. And if they agree, well, that's fine. You know, if you don't, that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lord's Brewing. Chris and Baz, how are you guys doing? Nice to hear from you, John. It's been a while since I've heard from John. Chris has freezed up on me. Chris M, confusing though. Mark Jones, beer 52, just repeat a lot of beers and it's hit and miss. Yeah, I suppose that. I'll tell you what, online shopping is great, but let's be honest, there's nothing like going into a shop and paying for stuff and buying stuff. And I think a lot of people argued all that for years. Scott and Wonder really enjoyed this. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much.
I was going to get a bottle of that strawberry Belgian beer, Fruity from Tesco, but noticed they put sucralose in, which is the sweetener. Yeah, it's a very sweet sort of Belgian beer. Very sweet, to be honest. Chris is saying hi to Scott and Wonder. Hey up, John, you old fucker. I'm guessing that's Lord's Brewing. That sounds rough. Yeah. I had it years ago and liked it, but don't like the taste of sweetener. Jesus Christ, are we that far behind? Them mod squirrels and nuts.
They are, man.
Jones, how are you, mate? Jesus.
Oh, yeah. John's in the room.
Scott's going to say hello, John, but won't say hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello, but hello.
I've been busy, Baz. Got 2 major projects on the go, so I've been mad busy. Vault should be outstanding. Well-being. Good. That'd be interesting. I need to go and see John sometime as well. Same as I got to meet up with you at some point.
We have, haven't we? And that's the amazing thing, isn't it, about YouTube is I've met some great people on YouTube, including your good self. But we don't
you
meet
might
up.
hate me when you meet me.
I might well
Probably
do.
will actually.
No, I doubt it. But but at the same time, that's the great thing about beer review, isn't it? with beer reviewing, we meet great people. We talk to great people. We do lives, but we don't meet up, and we should. Let's do it.
Well,
Let's make it happen this year. My goal.
To be honest, we don't do enough lives, do we? I think that's a big thing that I've always pushed on doing more of.
Yeah, we don't do enough lives. I agree. I absolutely agree. We don't. But at the same time, why don't we meet up? Why don't we make it happen?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's make this the year of happening, where lots of
now I can't even get to work.
But not when you start breaking your ankles. We can't. Why don't we make this the year of meet up? Let's
absolutely, mate.
The year of meeting up. Let's all meet up. Let's do it. Let's crack on and get it done. Meet up and have good times. That's what we should be doing. I'm all over it. I'm up for it. Let's do it.
Good man. We'll sort that out. We will. I've got to go through the comments again. I'm going to have to go for a pee in a minute, actually, as it happens. So you'll have to take over. You'll have to be the host.
Host.
Yeah, good live, everybody. Cheers for the chat. Cheers, Chris. Much appreciated. He's a lovely bloke. He always comes in and comments on certainly comments on my videos and JB's. I don't know how much he comments on yours.
None.
I'm sure he watches. I'm sure he watches. The fact that he's come in, I'm sure he does. My sister's got me a Fuller's gift set with a pint glass, 2 bottles of Golden Pride. Not had the Golden Pride. Have you had it?
I'm not a big fan of Golden Pride. It's the only Fuller's beer I'm not a big fan of. Is it Golden Pride? Yeah.
I've not seen it where I am, so it's always interesting, isn't it, when people comment and they say about certain beers, and like me and you, we're not down the road, are we? You know, we're a couple of 100 miles away, ish. So yeah, you get different beers than what I do.
Well, regional.
Yeah. But that's a good idea with doing the beer swaps as well. Again, that's something else that we should try and get into.
Yeah, we should.
So, Paul Williams, evening boys, enjoying the stream with a few Kronbackers. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Kronbacker either. That and Warsteiner. Lord's Brewing Co. John, Baz, you're always welcome, mate. We'll have a great time. Yes, I'd love to come up there and visit, mate, because I'd love to come up that part of the world and have a few days up there. Come and annoy you, drink all your beer.
You're only annoying. Get up there, Baz. Get up there.
He'll be screaming for you to go back once I've been there. He probably will.
Evening, Brett. How are you, mate? Hope you're well.
Hey, yeah. How are you, Brett, mate? Take care, pal. Hope you're good.
Hello. My daughter's arrived in the room.
Why daughter?
My daughter's arrived. I'm going to put the camera on her. No. She won't like it. Come on. Come on. Wait. There she is. There she is. That's my daughter, Leah. She's a little angel. She's running away.
She's embarrassed now. She's embarrassed now.
What's going to turn off?
My iPad.
Who cares about your iPad? That's in the house. We're in the beer shed.
Turn off.
Who cares? Uncover your eyes. Come on. Show us your eyes. Come on. She's doing a runner.
She's gone.
She's
gone. Like a scared cat in headlights.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Come on.
You horrible person. You horrible person. You really mean.
Hey, bye.
Bye. Love.
Mark Jones has put where you're from, Baz. Mark Jones, I am from originally down south, Surrey, but live in Shropshire now, Oswestry, between Shrewsbury and Wrexham. Lord's Brewing, we just had a home brewer called Sun Bear Brewing, mate. Beer on a commercial scale was great fun. Yeah, I think I did see that Lord's Brewing put a thing up actually about a new beer. You'll know more than me, you will, to be fair.
What? I know nothing.
Chris M. But I've been looking since twice as nice, Chris. Okay.
Twice as nice. Twice as nice. Twice as nice in Lidl. Audi is one of the worst beers ever brewed.
I've got a few cans from Victoria, a few cans of Victoria Malaga in the fridge. It's a decent lager. Yeah, to be fair, it's not too bad. But I bet you give it a few weeks. Well, say a few weeks. Give it a few months, years. How much will it change? As soon as they realise it's selling.
I'm all done on that.
You're done on that?
Oh,
I'm more or less done. I'll tell you what, right? I'm going to go for a quick pee. Oh, you carry on talking. I'll finish off the comments and then we'll say bye and then have a quick chat.
Happy days. I don't know how many comments are left, so we'll go through the comments. Obviously, I can't put the comments on the screen, but Brett from Beardy Beer Reviews is saying, I'm good. Had a few beers and Polish vodkas last night. So a dry Friday. Fair one, mate. Fair one. The Polish vodkas are a little bit leery, so I get that. This guy's put a comment on my channel recently, NARICO94. Didn't expect you to be from Surrey, Baz. I'm in Staines. John from Lords is saying that we have Rob Bramall Backroom Brewery coming up next to make his all British beer, all British hops and yeast. It should be fun, so that'd be cool. So Bramall Backroom Brewery, who's got his own YouTube channel, so check out Bramall Backroom Brewery. He's up at John's making a beer, so that's all good. Brett is saying at 9:32, Victoria Lager is an amazing drop. Yet to try.
Bloody hell, I'm well back, aren't I? Yeah, I've caught up now. You carry on, pal.
So I'm at 9:32. Scott is saying, come on, John, grow X. Oh, grow some balls. So say hello, John. Mark Jones is saying, let's just move on. Dean is saying, Bacchus lined up for tomorrow, one that slipped through the net. And there we go. We're up to date with the comments.
Right. Should we call it a night, pal?
Let's do that. I'm all up for calling it a night. We've had a few beers. We've done a few reviews.
Enjoyed it.
Chat. Let's call it.
Had some good fun. So a big thank you to everyone that's tuned in. My ankle, I just turned it in a funny way.
The only comment I would add to is John at Lords is saying, hey, here, Chris, has Paul Reviews given you the beers yet? No, he hasn't given me the reviews yet, the beers yet, John. There's some beers. There's some beers that John has given to Paul to give to me, but me and Paul haven't met up yet to collect those beers. So no, he hasn't, John. He hasn't given me them, but.
In that case, then, is it the bottled beers? Have you got bottled beers from John?
They are bottled beers. And
are those the latest bottled beers?
They are numbered bottled beers.
In that case, then, right, everyone watching, I know some of you might not give a fucking monkeys, but look out for Chris's beer reviews. Lord's Brewing has started bottling a few beers. It's looking like Chris is going to get some of them. So look out for his reviews. It'll be interesting to see them. And if they're good, I might purchase some myself. And if they're not, I'll be moaning. But yeah, a big thanks to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Big thanks to Chris for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, mate.
It's been a great live stream. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's been a long time, pal.
It's been a long time, and one day I will host a live on my channel. I'm so overdue doing a live on my own.
The option's always there, pal. I never take it away from you. It's always there. The biggest thing is meeting up with you at some point.
Defo, we will meet up.
As much as we can have video chats and shit, it don't, it'd be nice to meet up with you.
I've never been into New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions has never been a thing with me. But one of my thought processes this year is let's get some beer reviews and meeting up. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
And do some lives as well. Do some live reviews.
Absolutely.
All right then, peeps. Thank you all for watching. Much appreciated. A big thank you to Chris. Such a lovely bloke. He's a top man. Take care. Drink good beer. And carry on enjoying your life, I suppose.
Indeed.
Thanks all for watching.
Enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Cheers.